This is the Every F and FF podcast. I'm here with always Twirling Curtis.
Yo, it's me, Twirling Curtis. And with me, as always, is
Carl Sperm.
And I'm your producer, Alex. What's on the docket today, Curtis?
Oh, boys, we're going through Nibelheim tonight.
Whoa!
Nibelheim. Along the way, we might meet some new friends and some old enemies.
I like how we just got an influx of like new followers who might just be like, oh, well, there's a new episode. Let me check it out. It's just instantly the fucking worst intro we've ever done. Oh, man. Blew it.
And we're into it. No, okay.
We're here. I am Dorky Face number 1. Is that the thing's
name? No, we did it. We did the intro.
Oh, yeah,
it's
we did
canon.
Okay. My name is now Carl Sperm
Yeah.
instead of Carl Germ.
I'm editing a podcast settings right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, guys. So we're in Nibelheim this week.
Yes, we are.
We just got out of Cosmo Canyon. Done with that. We're done with it.
Red
got
said
Red back.
He said, my name's actually Nanaki. And I grew up a little bit, and let's fucking go.
He said, "My name is
I'm a man
Nanaki,"
now.
and we just consistently call him Red throughout the rest of the run.
Yep.
So
because we insensitively
we're
chose to not actually name him Nanaki.
Yeah. So question: who did you take into town, Carl?
I took Tifa and Aerith.
Okay, I took Red and Yuffie. So
Nice.
We're talking about just riding from Cosmo Canyon.
Oh yeah,
to
we should
Nibelheim.
talk about that a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
there's-
talking about the ride there?
What's on the road?
yeah, there's really not.
It's like a straight
it's like-
shot.
yeah,
You're like right out of the canyon, right there. Although you did, I was watching you stream the other night doing your homework.
Yeah.
And I did see that you did 665 damage to an enemy, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
were like, oh man, almost 666, and then the enemy immediately did 420 damage to Cloud, and I was like, nice.
Yeah, and I
Whoa, nice. Whoa, nice.
no,
The magic weed number.
but yeah, I totally would have missed that too because you were just in chat like, oh my god, 420. I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, I think I clipped
You clipped it, yeah.
Did I? Okay, I don't
Yeah.
know if they like stay around. I'm brand new to this whole
I think they
streaming thing.
do. I think they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Alex was saying, there's really not, or whoever was saying it, I don't know. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a straight shot right to the next part. Like the only thing that's there is like you can, if you look around the canyon, like up on a cliff somewhere, there's like a little structure that's like a little different colored mountain there, like surrounded by a forest. Which
I did not even see. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean that? Yeah.
yeah, we can't get to it now, but
Yeah.
figured I would just
In
bring
the
it up.
canyon, you
Yeah,
mean? You're right.
just for
Yeah.
the due diligence.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we may
we're
have went
in
to like
our-
a mountain range instead of the canyon, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
pointy mountains because like we've seen the Nibelheim, whatever. We've seen them in the flashback, and I remember being like, "Yo, these are like some metal spires.
Yeah.
Like they're dope." That was not intentionally radio voice.
I've just infected everyone's brain with
Yeah,
them,
I
so
know.
I'm so
I
sorry,
know.
everyone.
I know.
Shock job.
But the world map icon basically looks like the calm. world map
Yeah,
icon.
exactly. It's like a column with like an extra house or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, right between two of the like spiry like mountain ranges. There's this little house there. Another nice thing.
The mountain range just looks like a metal kid's like leather, like denim jacket,
oh
like the
yeah,
spikes
with like
you
this.
put on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the valley between that is the town that we're going
Yeah.
to. Another nice thing too is like the further you get away from Cosmo Canyon, when like it stops being just the canyon, like the sun that like had set like right as we were going there is now back up. So it's pretty funny that
Yeah,
you come in
right,
from like
right.
the one direction and the sun goes down and then you're leaving and it's coming back up.
Right.
But yeah, again, you just kind of cross another river because the buggy was fixed if it broke down on you.
Yeah.
That kind construction man.
I guess that makes. I was wondering about that. I was like, if the buggy breaks down, you could just walk to Nibelheim, but I guess you couldn't because you have to cross a river.
Yeah, you do have to cross a river.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
So, and then we're in an
We're
area
there.
that we've been in before,
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
we're not ambushed by a dragon en route this time.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
but just wait until later.
Yeah, we'll get there. But so as soon as we walk in, there's a small little cutscene, right? And like I really stressed it last time, but I'll bring it up this time. Nibelheim burned down.
We
Like,
all
Sephiroth-
saw it.
Everybody saw it. Sephiroth burned that motherfucker down. Like we've said multiple times, it is no more. And as soon as we
painted
walk
us
in,
a nice picture.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And as soon as we walk in, it is just the same as it ever was, as though it was never burned down, as though nothing bad ever happened. the same as it's been 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, like exactly the same,
Yeah.
like eerily.
Yeah, and we get a little cutscene
Yeah.
with the characters that come out, and like I'm kind of curious what everybody says. So
Yeah.
I took Yuffie and Red, and you took Tifa and Eris. So
Yeah.
what do they say?
So Tifa just says, "What? This was all burnt down, wasn't it?" And Cloud's like, I thought so." And Tifa says, "Then why? My house is still here too." And Aerith is just like, "Something's strange." And Cloud's like, "I'm not lying.
Oh,
I
really?
remember the intense heat of the flames." And
Well,
then like that's it.
So Yuffie said, "I thought someone said this town burnt down," which makes sense because she wasn't there for the flashback, so she doesn't know who said it. She's
Oh
just
yeah, she's like, "Yeah,
"Someone
I
said
heard
it."
about that.
And then I love Red's line. He said, "Did you lie to us?" And I was like, "Red, how could you?"
Accusing gentle Cloud of a misdeed.
I
So
know.
I think award for biggest dickhead thing to say
Yeah.
goes to, as always, Kate Sith.
Oh,
Have you
really?
seen his dialogue?
No, I haven't.
He says, "Cloud, did you make up your story to get our support?"
Oh shit!
Just cold. Was he wasn't even there for the flashback, was he?
Canceled. What? No,
Canceled.
yeah, he wasn't there for the flashback. No.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, and to Red, Cloud just says, "I'm not lying," and then he says, "Yeah, I remember the intense heat of the flames," and we're welcome to run around.
Yeah,
Nibelheim.
and see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. So did you do like clockwise?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I did too.
I just went to like every house as I
Yeah.
came up on it. So
I went counterclockwise like a weirdo.
nice.
That actually, if you go counterclockwise, it unlocks an extra boss later.
Yeah, you get a. I'm trying to think of a color that's not an actual chocobo color in this game.
White chocobo.
I think there are white chocobos in this.
Well, you
Yeah.
can't ride
The
them.
joke
But
is
you're right.
the
There are
joke
little
is
baby
past.
ones. Yeah, it's gone.
The joke
All right.
is past. Damn it! Pretend I said something really funny there, everyone.
Yeah. So I went to the inn first, and I like that. Like you can just all the NPCs in this area, you can just be straight up with them. You can be like real aggressive. Like, "You're lying. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?"
And they just throw it kind of right back at you. They're like, "That's fucked up for you to say."
I know. Yeah. The innkeeper literally. So Cloud says this town was supposed to have burned down 5 years ago. What the hell is going on? And he just goes, "Ah, sir, don't say such awful things." I love it.
Yeah,
Because
like-
I was born and raised in this town.
Yeah, imagine you just were working at your job and someone like, "You're supposed to be dead."
Yeah. Damn.
God. Yeah. And so, yeah, and that's what.
Just bad vibes all
Yeah.
around.
But in the back room of the inn,
Yeah.
we get a man in a black cape,
Mm-hmm.
who, if we walk up to and press A on, Cloud says, "A man in a black cape."
Yeah, he's real creepy looking too.
Oh,
and when we
yeah,
say
they're all-
when we say a black cape, like we've been alluding to that throughout all of the
Yeah.
the entire season since we've been on the trail of like Sephiroth, because he's
Yes.
known as the man in the black cape.
Right.
But these are like Grim Reaper looking sort of like
They're like
capes.
cloaks.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like black cloaks, and you
Yeah.
can't see anything. They're just kind of hunched over and like trembling a little bit. It seems like.
But I think intentionally, like, they could qualify under the description, "the man in the black cape." Like,
Exactly.
very, very explicitly, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it,
Oh.
like you said, like that's exactly what Cloud said.
Right, yeah. So when everybody's like, "Oh, man in a black cape," now it's like you're getting a little bit of like, what?
Yeah, what
Is happening? Who
like
are-
there's been a lot of people talking about a man in a black cape coming through,
Right.
and now we're seeing this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So when people were saying, "I saw someone with a black cape come through," were they maybe not talking about Sephiroth?
Who could they? What is the case? Were they or were they not?
Yeah,
What a
who
good.
knows? And also,
what a good
but
question.
also like Nibelheim's here, and it was on fire. What the fuck's going on?
I know. So more questions than answers.
Wait.
Also, I think he either gives us or we just jack a fucking Lux source off.
Yeah, it
him.
just says,
We're just
he
like, "Yo,
has
fuck this
something."
guy. I'm taking this Lux source."
Yeah.
These are all like hunchback looking.
Yeah,
Well, can we really? I don't know if they're like hunched back
They're like-
or if they're
they're
just
like-
like
just-
doubled over.
or they're like intentionally hiding themselves.
yeah.
That's kind of the vibe that I was getting. Like,
yeah.
Again, I was watching a walkthrough on my phone, so I couldn't really see
yeah,
very well.
yeah.
But yeah.
The
they-
ultimate cheat.
Well, they do look like they're like at very least like hunched over a little bit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could imagine pulling their capes closed or something like that, or
Yeah.
even just like they may even just be sitting there
Yeah.
too. Like I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, another thing too. With Tifa in my party, when Cloud had the back and forth with the guy at the inn, he was like, "No, like you're lying and stuff," and he was like, "Oh, that's rude." Like Tifa says, "You're lying," and he says, "Excuse me, that's so rude." Like, if you're gonna have to talk like that, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
really?
Yeah. So like,
That's so good.
So it's interesting too, because it's like Tifa and Cloud were both there when all of that happened.
Right,
Like,
right.
and there's been all this weird confusion around it. Also, it's like,
Yeah, and like there's been confusion as to like Cloud's memory, but like having
Yeah,
Tifa
of
there
course.
is like
It's
somebody
a little
who's-
bit more grounding, where you're like,
right, where you're like, yeah, no, this really did happen.
Yeah.
But there's text after you talk to after you steal that guy's Luxorus.
really good.
He's like grumbling, he's like gurgling, and then he says, "Must go to reunion."
Yep.
Yeah, was that the first time we've heard reunion?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so.
So that's all that's in the inn, right?
Yeah.
So we go to the next house,
Yeah.
clockwise, which is the shop,
Yeah.
and this is the one during the flashback that as soon as you walk into it, Cloud goes, I don't remember ever being here, and you just get warped out
Oh
immediately.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Which
Oh.
I'm still not 100% sure what the significance of that is.
Yeah.
But we have a very similar.
It might have just been a dev way, like we don't want him buying items in the dream.
That,
I mean,
that could be true.
It could be. But we have a very similar thing going on here.
But I
where-
think it was also a different. I might be wrong about it, but a different model. Like, because I think the shopkeeper came up to him and said,
It's a
something,
different shopkeeper.
And yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And then it like flashed, and it was like,
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, and this shopkeeper doesn't say anything. Like in the last one, we should explain that. Like with the innkeeper, you can also just say like, give me a room and sleep for the night.
Right.
But you can also say like, tell me your story.
Right,
And that's
right.
when he starts.
Yeah.
Cloud says like, this place shouldn't be.
Yeah, but this shopkeeper doesn't say anything. But there is somebody in the back that we can talk to
Yeah.
who turns around to us and says, "Nice town, huh? We've been in business for a long time." And Cloud's just like, "You are lying." He just like says it outright. And they ask us, "Do you have anything to do with this town?" And you can say yes or no here, right?
Yeah. It's how about being born and raised here, or nope, guess not.
Yeah. So I said, "How about being born and raised here?" And he says, "I was here until I was 14, and I don't remember you." And the guy goes, "It's not nice to lie."
Yeah, and Cloud's just like nothing. Like and then the guy's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, yeah.
So like we're starting to see a trend here. Things
Right.
aren't lining up, and like they're getting nowhere by trying to get any
Right.
information.
But there's another gentleman in a black cloak.
Yeah.
Well, gentleman. We don't know the gender of them,
Yeah,
but they're
in a furnace room.
in a furnace room. Yeah, in the back. Who has the tattoo of the number 12?
Yeah,
So we've had 4 people. Like everybody has. Like we've heard about these tattoos. We saw the guy in the pipe in Walmart. Not Walmart. The Sector 5 slums.
yeah, in the earthen pipe.
In the other pipe, yeah, who had the tattoo, right? And who was, if we remember,
Our
sitting
sick.
there and like rocking back and forth and just being completely incoherent, right?
Yeah.
And then we see these other people with tattoos way later in black clothes, rocking back and forth and being incoherent,
And they all have different numbers.
all with different number tattoos. Yeah. And once again, we just fucking jack this dude's elixir. We're like, fuck you.
Oh yeah, he
We
gives
just-
you an elixir, which
Yeah.
is fucking great.
Like, I imagine that I figured that they were giving them to us.
Yeah,
But it's not really clear, so like I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
I'm,
you're just like,
I'm changing my headcanon to
Yeah.
be like we're fucking just being like, give me that.
Yeah, you're just you got a taste for theft with the ethers, so you're like, huh,
Right? Yeah.
this guy's not gonna miss this.
But then he says, "Can you hear the voice of Sephiroth?"
Mm-hmm.
After that,
And with that too, like it's every word has ellipsis between it.
yeah, it's all broken
And
up.
I'm wondering if it was the way that it says Sephiroth. I'm wondering if it was intentional because it says Sephiroth, and I'm wondering if it's like, isn't that like the same sort of cadence as One Winged Angel? Do they say Sephiroth?
I'm telling you, the only thing I can hear in chanting now is the FF8 intro because it's completely worked its way into my brain.
Hell yeah.
So now I see, like, I can envision in my head fighting Sephiroth and hearing Venus.
Yeah, but with One Winged Angel though, I think don't they go Sephiroth?
Yeah, they do.
I think so. I don't know if that's the actual words. that
It
they
could be,
use,
yeah.
anyway.
But yeah,
I was like, that's a very popular song. I mean, not
Yeah,
that they would
very
have
much
known
so.
at the time of development that would be the most popular song or whatever.
Yeah,
but
right.
I saw that and I was like, huh, that's pretty cool.
So then the next house, clockwise, is Cloud's house.
Yep.
Right? And so you walk in and there's just somebody at the kitchen and they say, "What is it?"
Mom,
And-
she's alive.
yeah,
Hooray!
I don't know. Yeah, it's somebody entirely
Just
different. Doesn't
completely
even look
yeah.
like, yeah. And, you can say nothing or choose, "I want to hear your story." And Cloud straight up is like, "Yo, I lived in this house until I was 14 and the town burned down." And the person's like, "Oh, you're sick saying such things."
Yep.
Like, this fucked up.
Yeah, and she just says, "Get out of here." And
Yep.
that's like it. Like you're getting less and less from each person. I feel like.
Yep, I think so. Yeah, and then we go to Tifa's house, and there's more people in black cloaks. This one,
This place is crawling with them.
yeah, they're all over the place. This one says, "Must get it and bring to Sephiroth." And again, everything's like kind of chopped up, like they're very like struggling to say these things.
Yeah.
And then become one with Sephiroth. And Cloud just
Yeah.
says, "This guy's number is 5." In the back, in the Tifa's kitchen. There's someone with a tattoo number 11. They say must go to reunion, and they give us a turbo ether.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What
And
else?
then when you
Yeah,
go
ahead.
upstairs, in like Tifa's like parents' room, there's tattoo number 4. He gives you the platinum fist.
Yeah, it does.
Which is a kick-ass weapon for Tifa. And he just says, "Where are you, great Sephiroth?"
Yep. And then the answer to a lot of these questions is right here.
I was like,
it gives you the answer.
I was wondering how long we would like have to be like, oh, like what's going on here? This burnt down. Who's right? Who's wrong?
Yeah,
but
the answer to the mystery is right there.
literally
in Tifa's room.
right here.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the first one?
Yeah. Who? Wait, me or you?
You.
Okay, I'll go to the first one. So when you walk into Tifa's room at the same place that you can read Johnny's letter earlier that we missed during the episode,
yeah.
but it's on her desk. There's a report on the desk because like this town's been, the obviously Cloud and Tifa and the people who originally lived there, right, have been gone for a long time.
At least 5 years.
At least 5 years. So this town's been repurposed essentially, and so there's like memos on Tifa's desk, right? And the first memo says a periodic report to Professor Hojo, 1 clone activity report, and then it goes on. Unfortunately, no quote-unquote clones have left the town this quarter. As previously reported, the quote-unquote clones seem to be sensing something, but all they say is reunion or Sephiroth and show no other signs of activity.
Yeah, and then number 2, confidentiality report. A total of 8 people have visited this town this quarter. Fortunately, none who knew about the incident 5 years ago. Therefore, no one knows the town was restored exactly as it was 5 years ago. Our staff, disguised as town people, have improved their acting skills, and we do not report any problems at this time. That is all.
Yeah, so there's our answer right
Yeah,
there.
literally just like, mystery solved, gang.
So under Professor Hojo, I assume we're talking about the Shinra, even though he's left Shinra.
Yeah, but this is like, I don't think he like came here after Costa del Sol and was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to write a report about like what's going on here.
Because it says quarterly and things, and
Exactly.
he just quit. So
Yeah.
I have to admit, it's the Shinra.
So yeah, super fucked up though.
Yeah, they rebuilt the entire town.
Also, why?
That's the man.
I mean, I guess if I'm thinking about it, like maybe they don't. It's not so much as like. I mean, because there's been a string of like them. They did the same thing in like Coral, where they just burned it to the ground and then just turned it into a prison. Like, so they shouldn't be shy about like
leaving devastation.
Unless this was the first time this happened.
Well, so here's the thing I was thinking. We've seen multiple places that are just left absolutely devastated, and then Shinra moves out and it's like, fuck you, whatever, who cares, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is a bit of a stretch, right? This is gonna be like a long shot. But because Hojo's a whole thing, like, you know how he's always like kind of interested in the science of it, he doesn't care about the ethics of it or anything like that. I think in my like what I wonder is, did they rebuild this town for the purpose of whatever the people in Black Capes are doing here? Like, do they share some memory or some emotion about this place that having it 100% restored is going to allow them to be like, what are they doing? Like, where are they going?
It could be something like that, or it could be that this was like the first instance of it happening, because I think Corel happened 4 years ago.
It might be.
So like a year after Nibelheim, we'll think. But
I guess it couldn't be longer than that because Marlene's only 4.
Yeah, and I forget the exact numbers, but so it's either like that, and then they were like, oh well, fuck that, we're not doing all that work again.
Yeah.
Or it could be like its proximity to like the mansion and
if it was
event.
just trying to bring it back, I don't think they would hire the actors.
Yeah, of course.
That's
and
what I
also, it could have most to do with just Sephiroth, because like Shinra like took it upon itself to like take Coral down the way it did. Like that was like, there was a reactor explosion. They thought it was rebels, so they were just like, we need to make an example. We need to take care of it. With Nibelheim, they had one of their soldiers just go off the rails and take it upon himself to do that.
Right.
So it could be like that. They're like, oh no, that never happened. Like it could, like if Sephiroth like defected from Shinra, that could be a lot of power away from them.
Yeah.
So maybe
it
that's
could
why.
be.
I mean, this is all conjecture. Like,
yeah, it doesn't really give us a definitive answer. Kind of like Justin was saying when he was on. Yeah. A lot of stuff isn't explicitly spelled out.
Right. And a lot of times on the show, like Curtis and I will play like coy. Like we obviously know more than we're letting on, but I think this is a case where we're not entirely sure.
Right. And then we go into the last house. It's just like a little room,
Well,
right?
did you do anything on the piano?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
Let me pull it up.
Segment time.
Segment.
We're back with the hit jams. Okay.
That's all you can do of it.
Okay. That you are no dreamer.
So,
You're not allowed to know what that is, Alex. Not for multiple seasons.
well, I also kind of spliced up.
Oh,
a
you're
bunch of
right. You're right. You
things
did.
If you want, that's like a main melody line in a lot of Final Fantasy VIII. We've had Final Fantasy VIII on the brain.
Yeah.
To kind of date the show a little bit, the remake came out today. The remaster,
Yes.
the remaster, I should say, came out today at like midnight.
Yeah.
Curtis got it instantly. I got it
Yeah.
instantly. I haven't played it yet, but I've had it on the mind, and I think I've talked about this on the show before, but. There's a part with Tifa's theme that is then like reused into like the song from Final Fantasy VIII, which is the track Julia and the track Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
So I actually put together all three of them in a row if you want to play that real quick, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd always be there in the corner.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
This time,
The same line 3 times. Yeah.
little bar.
Yeah.
That you are no dreamer.
It's kind of the Zelda's lullaby of
Yeah,
Final Fantasy.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about it a bunch, but Nobuo likes to like have a theme, and then it goes throughout the game. And in like, this case, that kind of like that one little
Bridges
throwaway
game.
Yeah, that one little throwaway like melody. He was like, oh, you know what? I like that enough to make that like the primary driving theme for a lot of the songs in the game, which is
That
I love
lazy
it so much.
ass.
Yeah, canceled.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time
yeah.
with more jams. Oh yeah, Carl Sperm. Phallics. All right.
Cool. So sorry for derailing that part, but
Yeah, so the last house.
yeah.
Going clockwise. Has 2 people in black capes, and one of them is very, very small.
I love that so
It's a
much.
little-
Who is
little-
that little guy?
It's got to be a cat.
Yeah, it's like a little cat. Oh,
It's like a cat in a black cape.
Yeah.
Which I like to imagine that's who was terrorizing somebody like early in the game, where they're like, I saw a man in a black cape walking west across the fields. And what he
just that
saw was
little-
like a little cat. Like like the little cat in a raincoat on Twitter or whatever.
Oh my
Little
God, yeah.
Calico walking with a black cloak.
Oh, I love that so much.
I know.
But yeah,
that's who defeated the Midgar Zolom.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, but I think this is just also more of the same. Like the one doesn't say anything; it just says ellipses, and then it also has a period at the end of that. It's
Yeah,
very
right.
funny. It gives you a luck source. Like
Yeah.
these things are stocked with some real good items.
Yeah, and then they just say reunion.
Yeah, the other one just says reunion.
And there's nothing in there, so
Yeah.
So our theory, or the one theory that these people have been spotted throughout the game, does that mean Dio thinks that you're like best buds with one of these people?
So the thing is that it's very ambiguous. It could have been Sephiroth.
I think it is.
we'll see when we
Yeah,
get there.
I think it is like we've also seen Sephiroth like on the boat. Like I've always taken it as like that is what people are saying, because a lot of times too they don't just say Black Coke, they say like dude
A
had
big
a
sword.
gnarly sword,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
like none of these guys do. But
Right.
It could be like avatars.
Which
or-
like more like a lot of things aren't explicit, but we will get more detail.
yeah, and I think there's a lot in like Hojo's letter that we found here that kind of explains it a little more, like talking about like clones haven't escaped or things.
They call
like
yeah,
that.
they call these things clones.
Yeah,
Right, which
exactly.
like carries a certain not I was gonna sounds like a connotation. It means a word. It means a thing.
It is a thing that means a word.
right.
It means its definition.
Exactly. Right.
But I think that's pretty much all the houses in Nibelheim, right?
If only there was somewhere else to go in Nibelheim.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's not. So we go
So
on
we're
to
going
the...
to continue on. There's
Like,
nothing else important here
nothing.
at
There's
all.
no other buildings or facilities or anything.
There are a couple more of these like cloak guys just kind of hanging out outside.
Standing beside nothing important.
Yeah, standing outside of like the perimeter of the Shinra mansion.
Oh, the Shinra Mansion. That's right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, like the one of them just says the great Sephiroth is near, and the other one and says inside the mansion, erg, the great Sephiroth, which is real.
When he says that, it's like, oh shit.
Oh shit, that dude's here.
Inside right now?
And the other guy says, wow, he's calling. Sephiroth is calling.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's our job to go into the
So we should probably check out this mansion.
the spooky ass mansion.
Oh yeah.
So this is the mansion from earlier, from the flashback where we found
like
where
we left
Sephiroth
it.
went nuts. Yeah, just like we left it, for real.
Yeah, which I this wasn't on fire. I don't think. Like we were.
It's the same town. I would have.
No, I agree, but it's also like up a little bit of a ways. Like you have to go up a staircase, and there's like the fence, like the stone fence, and the gate and everything. And Sephiroth just set the town on fire.
Well, we do know,
and we woke up in the mansion and came out of it. And to everything on fire.
and we do know from something way later that at least some of the mansion is preserved, at least parts of it.
Yeah, but if you go inside the mansion in the room all the way on the left.
Yeah, we should go ahead and just get right to it. This is the room on the left.
And there's a note on the ground, and it says, "I must get rid of all those that stand in the way of my research, even that one from the Turks. I scientifically altered him and put him to sleep in the basement. If you want to find him, search the area. But this is merely a game I thought of. It is not necessary for you to participate if you don't want to."
I like the optional parts of the game. Like, hey, this is optional.
Yeah, I like how it explicitly says, like, yeah, you don't have to do this, but if you're,
right.
it's a fun game for me.
Yeah.
And then it says, there seems to be more. And if you read it, it just says, move the dial on the safe carefully but quickly. You have 20 seconds. You cannot go past the numbers while turning. The 4 hints for the numbers are, and then it gives you like these weird cryptic messages.
Right.
The one is the lid of the box with the most oxygen. It actually gives you a prompt for like dials, which you can...
It says, do you want clue 1, clue 2, or clue 3?
Yeah, dial 1, dial 2, dial 3. And dial 2's clue is behind the ivories short of T and Ray. Dial 3 is the creak in the floor near the chair on the second floor. Then to the left 5 steps, up 9 steps, left 2 steps, and up 6 steps.
And I think we should go ahead and get into the game now.
Sure.
Without...
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. I agree, yeah.
Okay. So this mansion is dope as fuck now, because like there's enemies in here, and all of the enemies are really well designed.
They're really well designed. They look cool as shit, and they're pretty tough.
Yeah, that's true.
So which enemy do you want to talk about first?
So let's see here. What do I got?
The first one I ran into was the Jihiro Felgo.
Here we go.
Which is a little
scroll through my message, or my text here.
He's just a swinging little guillotine.
Oh, the swinging boy.
The swinging guillotine boy.
There's a dude just on a fucking swinging like blade.
Yeah, it looks like he's like swinging from like a chandelier like in the mansion.
Yeah.
Only instead of it being like a nice ornate lamp, it's just a huge blade.
Yeah.
Like,
and he looks like JoJo's Dio. He's got like long blonde hair.
Exactly.
He's like built.
He's wearing like a crazy like mask.
Yeah. And the camera on this fight is always behind him.
Yeah.
When you fight him, you never actually go around the front of him.
Yeah, I think if you like sense him, you can find more about him.
Oh, maybe so.
So there's a few things you can do with him. I think if you attack him enough, sometimes
he'll fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then he'll like he has this great animation where like he doesn't have any legs. He kind of just has like this blade for like his lower body.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like reaches up and starts pulling himself up back the rope and then falls again.
Yeah, he like sometimes he can actually get back up on the blade and keep
Yeah.
attacking, but sometimes he'll just fail to pull himself back up, and you just get more free attacks.
And it's
on
so
him.
good too. Like especially because I had Tifa in my party, where like he fell from the thing, and then like she just runs up and like punches and kicks him while he's on the ground, which is really funny.
That apparently is a 1/8 chance he will fall off and be unable to attack for the next 3 turns.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he's also weak to gravity. So
The guy up in the air is weak to
which
gravity.
makes sense.
That's
But if
awesome.
you use like I only have Demi right now, it hasn't leveled up at all. And when I used it, instead of it doing like the 3/4, like bringing him down to 3/4 of his health, it brought him down to half of his health.
Real quick note, that we should have done this very first, but a little piece of corrections or whatever.
Oh,
from
yeah?
the last one. Not really corrections, just additional information.
Sure.
We were talking about the added effect materia.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and I went online and looked at like what all that applies to, and it applies to a lot of things. Basically,
shit.
if it does a status at all, it can be used.
Oh, that's
so,
awesome.
like, you can use it with time, and you can slow or stop the enemies.
Whoa.
What's really crazy is I don't think we have it yet. You can attach it to the summon Hades, which gives like every status effect, and it will just give every status effect.
Holy shit.
What? That
I-
sounds amazing.
I love how broken materia gets.
I know.
Like, I'm going to
it's
talk
wild.
about that a little bit later on in this
Yeah.
episode, but like there's so many things that you can do to just like we've mentioned it countless times, but like you can just trivialize most battles in this game
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just like certain strategies.
Yeah,
can use.
absolutely. But yeah, that one was really crazy when I saw that. I was like, whoa.
That's sick. That's good to know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play around with that more.
So I went looking for the clues, right?
Yeah.
So I went for the chair, the squeaky chair, and then take the steps first.
Yeah.
And like I had my volume off on that part or whatever, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna smash the A button until I get it. And you go up to like where the hidden doorway is to go down to the lab that we learned about during the flashback, and you just walk into the hallway and just walk up to the top of the hallway where the window is, and it's right in front of the window.
Yeah, there's like a chair right there, and
Yeah.
you do have to hit A there though.
You do, yes.
For the
yes.
because I was walking around for a while.
I did too,
I think I
yeah,
even
same.
turned off encounters because I feel like the encounter rate is kind of high here.
It is.
So
it
I was
is.
like, "Fuck this! I just need to find these clues." And
Instead of turning it off, I just put it on 3 times speed, and I was like, that'll be almost like it has less encounters because I'll just spend less time in them.
true.
But then you won't get to meet the dorky face.
Dude, I love
Yo,
the
the
dorky
dorky face,
That-
yeah.
especially like this time of year, like it's finally September, so that just means for me it's Halloween.
You're
From
right.
now
For
until
October.
next Halloween, because I love Halloween so
Right.
much. But yeah, so these things, the dorky faces are like little like jack-o'-lantern ghosts.
Yeah.
They're like
They're really
they got
good.
like a real goofy little
Their
smile
attacks,
face.
if I remember, are like hilarious too.
It's it's
I don't have it here though.
Funny breath.
they
is
have
one of them.
funny
Yeah.
breath, and they have curses.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
they do like decent, like I think one of them confuses you.
Yeah, I can.
And
yeah.
like I think I also had it on 3 times speed during the battles, and I got confused. And I think I used like Death Blow with Tifa, and then she just attacked herself. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I've also been dealing with the Joy-Con drift, so I was like, did I somehow accidentally make Tifa attack herself? Then I realized I just got confused, so I was
Yeah.
like, shit.
Yo, so different Final Fantasies make different priorities out of different status effects.
Mm-hmm.
And as this game progresses, this is probably the most dangerous game for confusion because toward end game, you don't even have to be max level. You can be like level 60 and just deal constant 9s of damage.
Yep.
So it's entirely possible to have somebody with haste who just immediately kills all your 3 of your party members.
Yeah, including
Just
themselves.
One and then the other and then themselves.
Yeah,
Just like
there's-
that. And you can just game over instantly like that and just be like, what the fuck?
There's
So-
a lot of punishing status elements in this game, and
Yeah.
one I'm really excited to talk about when we get
Okay.
to the next part of the
Okay,
the
all
next
right.
part of the game.
Cool.
Yeah, I think there's also an enemy that I didn't see called the Jersey. Did
I
you guys
have
see
I
that?
have the jersey. It's scales. It's like these like
Yeah.
floating scales.
It's like the scales of justice sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Like
Now I tore them up, so I don't know too much about them because when I got
I think
in there,
when
I just,
when it leans left, it's supposed to. I think it has like higher physical attack.
Okay,
or,
that
or-
makes
Or
sense.
physical defense, or it favors magic,
Yeah.
or one of those two things.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
So you
That
know,
tracks with what I've seen.
there's a lot of like gimmicky fights in this,
They're all a bunch of gimmicky fights,
but
That's the
they're
thing,
fun
yeah.
and like cool looking. Like this scale thing has like a. It kind of looks like an old man face, but it also might be a lion face at like the base of it. Like it kind of looks like it might be Bugen Higgins'
Really?
face, but if you look at it from a different like way, it kind of
Yeah.
also could be a lion. I don't know.
yeah,
There's
So-
the other enemy that's called the Mirage. That's
yeah,
a
the,
real,
Yeah.
the mirror.
they're a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, if you're relying on magic, you're just kind of fucked.
I
Is-
never
is it-
do. What happens?
It's like it's basically looks like a pendulum clock, except instead of a clock face, it has a mirror. But I do not cast magic on it. It just like
It just
auto
reflects.
reflect, has
Okay.
auto reflect on everything.
Yeah, so I was using like Metro Magic to just take out the big
Yeah.
things and sometimes these come paired with like the dorky faces or one of the other enemies here. So
Yeah.
I just like did that and took out a bunch of the enemies and then just like saw all of the missiles get absorbed into it and fly back at Aerith, and I was like, no.
oh man, that's not good.
But luckily that doesn't do too much damage, so I did it again just to like take out the rest of the wave, and then
So I think it's all the enemies that you can counter here. Is that correct?
In this area, I think, until
Yeah.
we get to the basement.
yeah,
later,
there's more in the basement.
So-
but I think there's another one that is again just a reskin of an enemy that we saw before. It's
Yeah.
called the Twin Brain.
Oh yeah, we see that in the basement too.
So
maybe.
it's like a blue version of the Vargid police thing.
Oh,
Like
that's
the-
right. Yes.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So
And-
and
There's also bats. In general.
yeah, I
That's
think
right.
about yeah.
They're
you're right.
nothing notable.
But
Just a bat.
Cool enemies in
Um,
this part.
You can also find a couple like nondescript treasure chests around.
Yeah.
Get some stuff. You can get like a magic source. One of them. So, like I said, I got that's the first clue I got.
Yep.
Was the one by that window. If that's in the rightmost the upper floor
Second
on
floor.
the right hall.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah.
The East Wing.
Yeah. I remember last time we were calling them the left wing and right wing. We're like, wait a minute, that's not quite right. Yeah.
It's fine. We'll just call it the West Wing.
Yeah. So we go to the west wing because it's across the hall, so you're still on the top floor. And there's a greenhouse, right?
Yeah.
And in the greenhouse is a treasure chest with the enemy launcher in it. Sick fucking name.
Yeah, I think that's for Barrett.
I did not check.
I'm pretty sure that's a weapon that Barrett can have.
Okay. But the big thing I wanted to point out is that it's in specifically the greenhouse. And so it fulfills one of the conditions of the clues, which is the lid of the box with the most oxygen.
Yeah.
So the greenhouse,
pretty good-
plants make oxygen. You talk to the box again and you get the next clue.
That was the one that I knew instantly. I was like,
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know there's a fucking room with a bunch of plants in here.
Really? I wasn't sure what it would be. I thought
Yeah.
maybe it would be like a tube or something with like, water in it.
Yeah.
So it gives you a clue. And then there's one. So the other clue is behind the ivories, short of T and Ray. And T and Ray are part of the Faso. What is it? Do, Re, Mi, Faso, La, Ti, Do.
Oh, okay.
So Ray and T are two of the
I didn't get that part. I just assumed like there's
piano keys are made of ivory. But
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
I knew the ivory part, so I was like, okay, there's a piano in there. And when it was T and Ray, I thought like, oh, there's a table that has teacups on it, maybe. And,
okay.
And the rays are talking about the sun, but that makes so much more sense.
I mean, it could be.
No, you're absolutely right. That makes way more sense.
Because I was going to say,
think
there is a table in here, and like sun is streaming in through the windows both. But I think it's
no, T and Ray definitely makes more
Yeah.
sense because I didn't see any like T stuff.
Well, it's a
with it.
short of T and Ray, so it's away from the T and away from the
Or
Rays.
Yeah.
or if you
So-
try to play this piano, it works just like Tifa's piano, except there's two keys that aren't
don't work.
working. So I think
Yeah.
it might be the T and the Ray that aren't working.
possibly
Short of T and Ray. Yeah.
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 Find out next week on our correction
Yeah.
station if we're right or wrong.
You can find the twin viper.
Yeah.
Is that a?
It's a weapon for someone that we're
Okay.
maybe
All
we'll
right,
meet
all right.
soon.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everything on this floor. The silver megaphone.
Yeah.
You can get that for Kate Sith. So then there's a safe, right? So when you go to the safe and you play it the first time, because I didn't remember this, I was like, all right, I got my 3 clues. I'm good. Let's go. Let's do it up. 20 seconds. And like, it's kind of touchy too. Dialing in the.
I hate this minigame.
What's funny is that like, if you ever look at the
Oh,
cell phone port,
we should also note that like each of the clues says like right 10,
Yeah,
left 20,
36
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. So if you look at the cell phone version of the game, if you look at the reviews, they're like, "Yo, the port's fine, but the safe minigame doesn't work. You can't do it on the phone. You can't do it." And like, so people are like leaving the FF7 one like a 1-star review because they're like, "Fix your fucking game."
Yeah.
It's a thing you have to do in the game. Like, fix it.
No, it's an optional game. It says
Well,
it right there.
yeah. But
doesn't lead to anything that a lot of people really like.
But you put in the first 3, you put in the 3 numbers, and then it just gives you space to keep going. And I was like, what do I do here? And so I would just like hit X again, and it would go like, meh, like, and just be like, no.
Yeah, and it says fail, I think too.
It says fail, yeah. And I'm like, I'm doing it right. So I tried like 10 times.
That's an epic fail.
Yeah, and it kept failing me, and I was like, what the fuck?
It is touchy though, especially if you're using a joystick.
Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah.
I prefer using the D-pad because you can't overshoot the numbers that you're going to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can still overshoot it.
Yeah. So to explain it,
You're not supposed to though. If you overshoot, I think you're not allowed to go back to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
no,
you're
exactly.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
just like a real safe.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant like, I was like, it's entirely possible to overshoot
no,
because
but
I
you're
kept
not-
doing it. Yes, you're
with
right.
a joystick, it can sometimes go too fast. So like,
Yeah,
you get close
yeah.
and then tap if you use a
Yes.
D-pad to tap closer to it.
yeah. So to kind of explain this game, you get like a little counter that it starts at 0, and when you move like left or right, it'll increase the numbers at like
Yeah.
a pretty fast rate. So it kind of mimics a like combination lock where you want to, the clues you get are right 36, left 10, right 59.
Right.
So you need to land exactly on the thing. And another thing that they don't tell you anywhere that I had to like look up because I kept failing it.
Yeah. Is that you have to hit the X button?
You have to hit the confirm button.
Yes,
Yeah, like
correct.
you have to hit
Or
the
O button in this
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
So you have to hit like the confirm button to lock in that that one. So like you keep doing that, and then you just keep failing.
Yeah, I kept failing, man. I was like, what the fuck? So
Because like Alex said, if you go one number too high, then you basically just have to.
Yeah.
So I did notice that if you just mash the confirm button, it will. You don't just have to wait for the timer to go down. Because the first couple times I tried it and I missed it by like 1 second.
Really?
Like I was like, fuck, I want to back out of this, but I just waited for the timer to go down, and I failed this a bunch of times.
That's the thing. So the way I figured it out was I was like, well, let me just hit confirm a bunch of times, and no matter what, it always wants 4 inputs, and I was like, oh, you sneaky fuckers.
Yeah.
There's a 4th clue somewhere.
Yep.
And if you go back to the original letter that has all the clues written on it, there's just an invisible 4th option.
Yep.
That isn't like the arrow. It doesn't even have anything but the hand, like your little pointer.
Your hand will go over it, yeah.
It can go over just a blank space, and you can click it, and it'll actually just give you the last number.
Yeah, it just says the last number is
written in invisible
97,
ink. Yeah.
written in invisible ink. Yep. So, but I think also when you're doing it, like now that we have the full combination, when you're doing it, I think it doesn't even like play a jingle or anything when you hit the confirm button.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I didn't notice it
maybe
when
not.
I was
I
doing
thought
it.
it might click, but I'm not sure.
I didn't notice anything. I could be wrong though, but
That's fair.
I remember being like, I don't like. That's why I like kept not using the confirm button because I was like, it doesn't matter if I use that or whatever. But
And then the safe door swings open.
yeah, so when we open it, it's also nice that when Cloud goes up to it before you like.
Oh yeah, he does say, he goes, I have a bad feeling about this.
Yep.
Before you open it. So I think that's kind of supposed to give you a warning of like, hey, get your shit in order before you open the safe.
Before you try multiple times for this like weird mini game that's hard. So we're
I got a
getting,
bad feeling about this.
we're getting ready, but once you hit the thing, instead of saying fail, now it says success, and you're instantly in a boss fight.
Yep, absolutely. Well, so you actually get 1 second before the boss fight starts where the safe opens
The safe
and a
opens.
summon materia pops out and you're like, oh, sick. And then a fight starts. You don't even get to pick it up.
Yep.
And this dude's a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
This dude is an asshole. Oh
This
my
is-
god. This is the first, like, this still is like, if I'm going to die in Final Fantasy VII, it's probably going to be on this boss.
Yeah.
So he's a real asshole.
Yeah, so we are at the Lost Number boss fight.
Yeah.
It's called The Lost Number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is interesting just considering that we just saw a bunch of people with numbers, so now it's like the
Oh,
Lost
is that
Number.
what-
That's what I
oh,
take for it, and so this thing is...
I thought it might have been like a gag on the safe thing when we're putting
Oh yeah,
numbers.
no, it could be.
But I don't know.
Who knows?
I think both interpretations are valid. For
Real
that.
conjecture hours here.
Yeah.
But so what this thing looks like...
Oh, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, like very like eldritch. It's got like two heads. It's kind of like a Two-Face sort of situation.
Right down the
going
middle,
on.
it's like split into 2 different designs.
Yeah, like on the left side, there's
It's like a gremlin. Like,
yeah. Just however you would think of what a goblin looks like, that's probably what is in your head.
Right.
Now. This thing looks like a goblin. But on the left side, it has it's like red and like has like wavy kind of hair, almost like that Marvin the Martian, like big red guy.
Yeah,
that's always going around.
But it's like way more shaggy.
Yeah, it's way more super. It's like if that thing was in Super Saiyan, but also still just red.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got some real Dragon Ball Z hair.
And it has like a tentacle arm, I guess, more like a tendril.
Yeah. And then on the right side, it's like a purple, just kind of like Geodude sort of looking kind of thing with a leg and like
a giant green hand.
Yeah, so it's real spooky looking. It has 7,000 HP, so it's like not a like trivial fight by any means.
Right. And it can do damage.
Yeah.
It at one point it punched red for 1,500 damage.
That's insane.
I think let's see here. I have my max HP. My max HP is 1,085. It did 1,500.
God.
That's 1.5 times the max HP I have.
Yep.
I was like, what? Like it just got it. It can roll you. It can.
Yeah, it can just like absolutely decimate you.
So you have to be pumping damage. That's the big thing about it. Like to me, I found to beat it is you just want to be rolling out as big numbers as you can.
Exactly.
Constantly,
Yeah.
And just get it done. Yeah.
And so I think I forget the actual like way the gimmick is structured, but when you deal enough damage to it, one of the sides will die first.
It depends on what you're doing to the boss.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So if you're hitting it with physical attacks, the purple side will basically take over the rest of its body, and it will be just the purple.
That's what happened with me, and I was pretty much only using physical attacks.
Right. And if you're using magical attacks, the red side takes over, and the whole thing just turns into that kind of same design. So basically, it takes one of the sides, and just that side's design becomes the design of the whole monster. It kind of shifts to one mode or another for the back half. Of the
Yeah,
fight.
so the purple half performs like physical attacks, and the red half will use like magic attacks.
Right,
So
but
once-
can only be attacked by the opposite. thing.
Exactly, yeah. So once you reduce its number like by like half, it's almost like exactly half, then it will change into one of the other sides. Now, I'm not sure if that's like a random thing or what.
Oh, the halves?
Yeah.
Okay, so if damage was inflicted by a magic attack, lost number will return red and gain substantial increase in its magic and magic defense stats.
Is it only if the last?
I guess it's the one that
maybe if
brings
the-
it over the threshold.
Okay,
Yeah.
because if that's the case, it would be a really good idea. To
Oh,
do
after reducing its HP below 3,498.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, it would be a good idea to hit that guy with physical attacks until you know you're getting ready to go past that
Yeah.
threshold.
Yep.
And then throw a magic, and then you could just keep rolling. Then.
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly, yeah. So, but
Yeah.
it's a fun fight.
It is a fun fight. I mean, it's tough, but it definitely can be done.
Yeah.
And he gives us an item that's very big that
Yep.
I think will become I have it written down as like one of our later podcast episodes will be like just about these things essentially.
Sure.
And I think this is I guess it's optional though. We don't have to get it.
Yeah, it's
So-
completely optional.
Yeah.
Like, this is an optional game for an optional part of the
Yep.
nothing is gated by not doing this.
This
Right.
whole podcast is optional.
It's true.
You don't even have to be here.
We
Get
are
out of here. Turn it off.
You know what? We're done. This is our last episode.
Yeah.
We are the worst instance of grinding in a side quest of all time.
But
Night of the Round has nothing on us.
Eh.
Not the band, they kick ass.
Just before we go, but I found out if it's damaged via poison, it actually will keep its form the entire fight.
Oh, wow.
So you can
I did damage it with poison too.
Ooh.
I did have him poisoned the whole time.
Nice.
So if you get below the threshold using poison, it stays.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
And the next boss coming up as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of bosses that can be poisoned in this game, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gives us the Cosmo Memory,
Yep.
which right now does
Whoa.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could if you really
Yeah,
got down to.
if you are at a point where you can use this item, which requires a lot of grinding,
Then you've been
should
grinding.
we just talk about what it?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So limit breaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed on previous podcasts how limit breaks work. Quick reminder: most people have 4 levels of limit breaks. Most of the characters have 2 limit breaks per level.
Yeah.
You get the first one by killing enough enemies, and the second one by using the first one in that
X amount
category
of
enough.
times.
Right. Except for the fourth one. You
Yep.
can't kill your way to it. You can't use limit breaks your way to it. You have to find a special item.
Yeah.
This is Red's.
Yep.
So this will allow Red to get his final limit break.
Of the same name,
Yeah, of the same name.
Cosmo Memory.
Which he can only get if you've learned all the other limit breaks. So you actually have to learn all of his limit breaks and then use this item, and then he'll learn
Exactly.
his last one.
Yeah.
So,
I also saw a thing while I was like just researching this boss that there's some sort of like glitch where you can like fight a boss more than once. Where if you like hit the menu on the exact frame when a random encounter is going to start or something,
Yeah.
like it lets you redo the battle or
Really?
something. I don't know the specifics of that, but someone was like, this makes it possible to get 2 of the Cosmo memory
wow.
items, and it's like that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
wouldn't
it
get anything
literally
from
yeah,
it,
you would
but-
just have 2 of them. Like,
yeah.
like I think
But
it might be a
interesting, though.
consumable, so you use it and then it would still be in your inventory. But there's no reason to do that.
Right. I mean, it'd be interesting.
Which is
but
an
that's
interesting
about-
little thing of trivia.
Yeah. So, like we said, also a summon materia pops out of the safe. It's
Oh, yeah.
Odin.
It's Odin, and it fucking kicks ass.
Also, did you use Odin at all?
I did use Odin in the next part because we get hit with a lot of mobs. And basically what happens when you summon Odin, like I think it starts like raining a
Yes,
little
it
bit.
does.
And like the camera...
And then the dog from Garfield shows up.
it destroys any lasagna that's on the... and if you pair that materia with Nermal, you are unstoppable.
Odin materia.
So yeah, it starts raining, and then the camera kind of like has this great cinematic of like this cliff that there's like this like silhouette behind like there's
Yeah.
a full moon and there's someone silhouetted on it. It's like this guy on a horse. who
Yeah,
has,
yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
does he have horns? I can't remember. I think he has horns.
In most of Man's Horns, yeah.
Yeah. So and his horse has two sets of front legs, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And he just jumps down and he swings his sword a couple of times, I think. And
It's like
it
an
can-
avatar.
It can miss enemies enemies. I don't know what the miss rate
Yes.
is, but it will just slice in half every single enemy like that it hits,
And that'll
one
just-
shot kill.
Yeah, it just instantly kills them. No damage pops up, no nothing. Just
Yeah.
Wow.
they're dead.
So I was getting into fights a little bit later on with like even tougher enemies where there
Yeah.
were like 6 of them on the screen.
Yeah,
and
and
I
you're
just
just
used
like,
that, and I got
yeah.
them down to like only 2 of them were alive in like one summon.
Yeah, and then you can actually go at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
after that. That's cool. Yeah.
So really good summon.
Hey, real quick, a piece of advice for everybody playing this game: check inside the safe before you go to the next area, because there's a key in there.
Yep.
And you don't automatically get it. So
Yeah.
I went to the next area to be like, haha, I know where this goes. I know what to do with the stuff I got in the safe. I didn't get it out of the safe. You actually
Yep.
have to pick it up. So I went to the place I was supposed to go.
Oh, you can actually see it in there too.
And you can see it. You can
Yeah.
see the keys in there.
It-
I just walked away. I just assumed that I had it after that point. I was like, oh, I did the boss thing. I picked up the summon.
Yeah.
I opened the safe. It's fine. I have it. Let's roll on. Didn't pick it up. Got to the next area and was like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah,
what
you're
did
like, this
I miss?
is a lot harder to do than I
Yeah.
remember.
So actually pick it up.
I like to imagine the key was actually taking up all the space in the safe, and that's why you open up the 2 other things just pop right out.
It was the key to Gramercy Park by Dead Z.
I've got the key to Grubber's Park.
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 One of these days, I'm gonna not bring up a really weird, fucking obscure song on the podcast.
Yeah.
But it is not this day.
So at this point, we've done everything in the main mansion, and we're ready to go back to the basement.
Yep.
Which is where Cloud confronted Sephiroth the first time
Yeah.
in his flashback.
Yeah, and we get a so we're back in that cave that we talked about before. That's like that nice purple glow, kind of like
Yeah.
not really like a
basement.
straight shot. Yeah, the basement. You can see some chains hanging. We can see the skeleton, and it's playing that great song, "The Nightmare Begins."
The nightmare begins.
And
It's so good.
yeah,
it's all
and
harpsichordy and creepy.
so
It's good.
last time
It's like the evil version of Breezy from FFVIII.
it really is,
Like,
yeah.
I was thinking,
Because it kind of
I wanna
has like
learn this.
it's not. I don't know if it's a guitar, like a harpsichord, but it's somewhere in there. It's like a plucked string sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's chill, but it's
It's
unsettling.
very spooky.
Yeah.
Again, this is our Halloween season starter episode,
Yeah,
so I'm
right,
real excited
yeah.
about it.
So we mentioned it very, very briefly because we couldn't do anything last time during Cloud's flashback, but we could barely just peek into a room and see like the bottom of a fucking coffin, right?
Oh yeah.
And the key that we got in the safe opens the door
Yep.
to that room.
And there was recently in the note that we read upstairs with all the hints on it, there was reference to what is in this room.
Someone from the Turks.
And someone
They
from the
say,
Turks.
yeah, the note's like, I took that one from the Turks and I transformed him and put him to sleep in the basement.
Yeah. So
And there's 5 coffins in here, and there's skeletons in all of them, except for the one in the center that still has the lid on it.
oh yeah.
So you go up to it and you talk to it, and just speech begins, right?
You have to stand at the base of it too, because I went to the side of it and I tried doing it. I was like, oh wait, is this something? Do I have to do something else to keep?
Oh,
this going?
okay.
And then I stood at the very front of it and hit A, and then it instantly goes into it. So-
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you click the button, and text appears on screen that says ... to wake me from my nightmare. Who is it? And the lid just flies off.
Whips off. It lands on one of the other coffins.
Yeah, it just fucking shoots off. Like if you were on top of it, your face would be gone. It'd be
Yeah.
gone. Yeah. And a dude sits up in there who's like, how would you describe his look? He's
Cool as shit.
Cool as shit. He's got like so the clothes he's wearing is like a black leather outfit, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got like a bunch of straps and stuff on, and it's very
he's
like
wearing a cool ass red cape.
yeah, on top of it, and the cape's all ate up or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But like I do like the fact that he has like this like commando-ish like solid black outfit underneath it. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
He
And,
kind of looks like he's wearing a corset around his head.
yeah, he
You
has
have-
like
Why do
a
you need buckles on your collar?
Yep.
3
Yeah.
buckles.
His
Yeah.
collar is very
the,
intense.
the collar is it the collar of his cape?
yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
whatever,
it goes
cowl.
up. Yeah. I guess a cowl maybe.
Yeah.
And it goes up above his mouth, so you
He's-
can't see his anything below his eyes. Right, the cape.
Exactly.
takes it,
Yeah.
right.
He's very Castlevania.
Yeah, very much so. And then he has a really thick like bandana. Like a
Yeah.
really tall-
Real red, red bandana. He's already in Avalanche. He's got the red bandana.
Yeah.
But somewhere Barrett's just like nodding his head like approvingly.
Yeah, he's not in our party, so he's elsewhere, just being like, something's right.
Yeah,
something's
something
right
something
right
is
now.
good. Something good is happening.
Yeah.
And he's got real long black hair.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks like he's been in a coffin for an
knows
unknown
all-
number of years because he's looking raggedy.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say at least 5 years, but this room was locked off
Beforehand.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So he was probably in there when we were here 5 years ago.
Cue man the box.
That's Vincent. This is Vincent's theme song.
This actually, yeah, this is Vincent's
Oh, we gave his name away. Well, whatever. Everybody knows. It's fine.
heart-shaped box. But yeah, the other thing of note.
This
for
is
him
a heart-shaped box by Madonna. I meant to say Godsmack. I don't know how I got Madonna and Godsmack confused. That's very odd.
I've had Voodoo by Godsmack stuck in my head. Completely unrelated to this, but goddamn. But yeah, his left arm is also like golden.
Yeah, he has a big like robot gauntlet thing, and like the fingers on it are like these super long claws.
Yeah, it
right?
fucking kicks ass.
He's fucking rad as shit. That's for sure.
And he says, "Who is it? I don't know you. You must leave." And then I think he no, he's just sitting up at this point.
Yeah.
But Cloud says, "You were having a nightmare." And Tifa at this point says, "How bad was your dream?" And go ahead.
I was gonna say, did any of your other characters say things as well?
No, just Tifa.
Okay, so Yuffie says, "Man, you were having a bad dream. Even I feel bad for you."
Oh, I love Yuffie. And he says, "A nightmare. My long sleep has given me time to atone."
Yeah, because like, what are you saying? And he's just like, I have nothing to say to strangers. Get out. This mansion is the beginning of your nightmare.
Oh, I love that.
And I love the
line.
Cloud's just like, oh, you can say that again.
Yep.
Like he has time to like have a fucking quip about it.
Yeah, if it was like Saved by the Bell, like the camera would freeze and Cloud would like look at it and be like, you can say that again.
Yeah.
Because
I'm saved by the bell. But yeah, so he asks, he's like, well, do you know something? Like he's kind of like giving you another chance. Like, do you have something to talk about?
Yeah.
And you can say, don't say a thing, or talk about Sephiroth.
Yep. When in doubt, talk about
I know.
Sephiroth.
Well, I mean, we've mentioned multiple times, he's the unifying element of every
Yep.
group in this game. Everybody
Yep.
wants to find him. Everybody has history with him. Like, this game is essentially about him, you know?
Yeah.
So
we choose that.
yeah, so he says, so Cloud says, yeah, like you said, this mansion really, he's like, it really is the beginning of a nightmare. And then he like kind of corrects himself. He goes, no, it's not a dream. It's real. Sephiroth has lost his mind. He found the secrets hidden in this mansion. And then this character's like, Sephiroth, because
yeah.
of course. Yeah, he's like,
And then,
whoa.
and then at the same time, like it's kind of staggered.
Yeah,
the way
both of them say together, they're
Yeah.
like, you know Sephiroth.
Yeah. And then he,
But if you're there,
then who's...
yeah.
This like location in the game would make for a really good like
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, like running through the different
Yeah,
doors. Like
yeah.
Yuffie comes out of like the oxygen room with all the plants, and like
Yeah,
Sephiroth
yeah.
is like at the top of the stairs and like
Yeah,
looking
they're all
around.
chasing each other. I do
Sephiroth
like,
and Cloud are running next to each other at one
Yeah.
point, and then they look at each other like, oh, and they like split into different ways.
yeah. I like too that like they like interrupt each other. They're like, you know Sephiroth, and then I like Vincent's response. He just goes, no, you start first.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like good. That's good manners.
Especially because it's not even just like, oh, he's like, no, you start first. He like full on fucking floats into the air and
Yeah.
then just like stands at the top of the coffin and
Yeah,
he's just standing
yeah.
there and he's like, you go first.
yeah.
Like
So he's
instant flex. Like
yeah. So he's all of a sudden.
he has the other float materia. That,
Yeah. This is Bugenhagen's son. No, it's
not canon. Not canon.
No.
Non-canonical. But
And
the screen kind of goes red.
I love it because we already know Cloud's backstory. We don't have to sit here through the entire
yeah.
thing again.
We get to replay the entire flashback.
yeah. So go back, play the flashback episode.
Curtis's favorite part.
Yeah, right. And then, yeah, so when Cloud's describing it, he just kind of like makes a motion as though he's describing something.
Yeah.
And the screen just goes red, which is great because it could have like done a whole bunch of other things. We've seen other like jumps in time where it'll be
Yeah.
like the little white flash, but because we're in such a fucking creepy area, the fact that everything just goes blood red to show the passage of time is genius.
Blood red summer.
I love
Zelda
it.
kind of does this too a little bit when Link like kind of gesticulates when he describes something, even though he doesn't talk in most of the
Yeah.
games. It's like
I love that.
The best like silent descriptions ever are in Super Mario RPG. If
Oh,
either
God,
of you've
yeah.
ever played that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, the way Mario describes things, because he's a silent protagonist in
He
that
like
game.
turns into other characters.
He like yeah,
right?
he
like turns
spins
into a
around and
Koopa.
turns into Bowser and makes a little.
Also,
always like Cur's the Cowardly Dog.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Anyway, that'll be during our Super Mario RPG podcast.
Yo, we could do it.
It
It's
is a Square game.
There's a Final Fantasy boss in that fucking game.
It plays the FF4 battle
It
music.
plays the battle
Yeah.
music. It's so good.
Oh whoa.
Anyway, oh whoa.
Oh whoa. Yeah, and Cloud just says that's how it was. Like it just Forrest Gump moment of that's all I got to say about that.
So this line he says actually, I think a lot of people say this might be a translation error, but it says, so Sephiroth knows he was created 5 years ago, which I think what they actually mean is that Sephiroth found out that he was created 5 years ago.
That makes so much more sense, because I was wondering about that too. I'm like, that's a weird thing.
I mean, I didn't know that it was, and that makes sense that it could be. The way
because if it doesn't make sense, like, oh, I found out I was... Because...
He wasn't created that year.
I kind of thought it made sense in the way that, like, people talk about fucking superhero villains, like when they have their moment where they go toward evil, you're like, that's the day the fucking
the great power,
the
great
Grim Reaper
responsibility
was created, right? Like that's when you say that's the day they were created.
That's when the Joker learned his first trick. The Joker's trick.
I mean, maybe the story will reveal itself more, but like, I don't assume that Sephiroth was born the same year that they went to
right.
Yeah,
I assume that they're like,
because this was 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, I meant
so when
I meant in the way that like somebody's like evil nature would come out, and you would be like, oh, that's the day the modern Sephiroth was created, even though he wasn't created right then.
Yeah,
it was just a changing of his personality.
It's like a Ben Kenobi, your father died years ago kind of thing.
Okay.
Like I guess, I mean, I didn't take it that way, so I'm glad we had this talk. I just read that and I was like, oh, that's weird, and like, I forgot that. But there are points where it like explicitly shows that Sephiroth wasn't just created 5 years ago.
Right.
Like that's like, it's like
no, he was born.
He was legitimately like around before that.
Which we'll get to. I shouldn't even say that.
But
yet.
yeah,
we'll get there.
If I didn't make it clear, the line that Vincent says, that Cloud says, so that's how it was, and then Vincent says, so Sephiroth knows he was created 5 years ago, and about the Genova project.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was missing, but has just recently reappeared.
Yeah, I think this is Cloud talking here, right? Because how would Vincent?
I think
know
so.
That?
Yeah.
It doesn't say Cloud at top.
Unless Vincent's like repeating it back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, you're right.
He's just kind of doing a recap, kind of like, and he was missing and just recently appeared. He has taken many lives and is seeking the promised land.
Yeah, and then Cloud says, "Now's your turn."
It's like, nope.
Yeah, I know. And what a fucking asshole! He just goes, "Sorry, I can't speak."
Yep, and we get to our second, no doubt, reference in 2 weeks.
Don't speak.
Oh, very nice. So, did any of your party members say anything here?
Tifa says, I'm disappointed.
Yuffie, as always, has the best line.
Yes.
So as soon as Vincent, this character is like, "Sorry, I can't speak," Yuffie just says, "Oh, that's okay. It's probably depressing anyway."
She knows he's fucking emo as shit.
Yeah, I know. She's like, whatever. Like, God, she's so good.
Eris just says that's dirty.
That's dirty.
Really? Oh, yeah. And then he says, "Hearing your stories is another sin for me. More nightmares shall come to me now, more than I previously had. Now
Jesus.
please leave." And then the
coffin
goes
lid.
right back on top of him.
Yeah, the
It
lid
flies
goes
up
right
and-
back on.
Oh, that's so brutal. Where he's like, "I'm gonna
Yep.
have more nightmares now. Leave." Like,
So now we're done with this area and we keep going.
yeah, we just walk away. Nothing
That
else.
was weird.
No, don't do it. Don't walk away.
I mean, you could.
You could. I think the first time I played through this, I actually walked away. Like
I was like, all right, there's just a guy here.
Yep.
When you walk away, you won't hear me say.
Please.
Please, let's not.
That's what was being sung by that pendulum monster, right?
Yeah.
The wrecking ball.
So yeah, if you interact again, he says, "You're still here," and you can say
I like good night.
good night, or
I just wanted to. I didn't want you to let you go back to your nightmares without saying good night.
give him a soft little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. Good night. You're Cloud special.
You better
baby.
not. You better not think I'm gonna leave without tucking my homie in.
Sleep tight, motherfucker.
That's the
So
kind of
fucking tight.
That's the kind of 2019 masculinity I'm looking forward
Hell
to.
yeah.
2019, tuck your homies in.
Hell yeah.
I mean, he just read him a nice long story about
Yeah.
5 years ago. So it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Oh, and then what happened? We'll have to talk about that next time.
5 more years.
Yeah. I'll tell you the rest of the story 5 years from now.
Yeah. So and then Cloud says, "At least tell us your name." And he says, "I was with ... Shinra Manufacturing in Administrative Research, also known as the Turks." And then it says, "Please enter this character's name."
Yeah.
And we get it, and it's Vincent. Vincent Valentine.
That's right.
Is that his last name?
Yes.
Oh.
This
how
is-
do you know that?
Just because I was obsessed with Vincent
Yeah,
Valentine when I was like 15.
I'm just like, it's just like a thing I've known for a long time.
Yeah.
Is that his name's Vincent Valentine.
He's kind of like a Van Helsing looking dude.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
very much so.
I just looked at it as character art and like, oh shit, that's Van Helsing.
He's cool as shit.
without the hat.
Full disclosure, I was definitely him when I was like 15 years old for Halloween one year. I got to dig up a picture of it.
I was gonna say
had a
you
helmet-
said it out loud. Now it has to go on the Twitter.
I'll find it. The year before I was Zell from Final Fantasy VIII.
Are there pictures of that?
Yes.
He's going on the Twitter.
I had braces at the time, and Zell has a very like iconic smile.
yeah.
And I definitely do that pose while having a mouthful of braces. So I'll be sharing that to everyone.
That's awesome.
Oh, this is really funny. On biographical information, it says he's physically 27 years old, but chronologically he's 57 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
so Cloud is like surprised. He's like, "Oh, the Turks," because we've had multiple runs with the Turks. Like
Yep.
this dude is part of the same group that Reno and Rude and everybody was part of, right?
And he just instantly corrects him and says,
Yeah.
formerly of the Turks.
I know, I love that. And he says, "I have no affiliation with Shinra now, and you." And Cloud's like, "Oh, Cloud, formerly of Soldier." So they're both
Yeah.
Shinra
And he
people.
says,
They're both-
you were
yeah.
also with Shinra. Then do you know Lucrezia?
Which is the fir-
Lucretia. I think.
Lucretia?
I think that's how I pronounce
Is
it.
that
I think it's probably Lucretia, yeah.
Is that the first time we've heard that name? I
Yes.
think it is.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes.
So we hear Lucretia for the first time, and Cloud does not know. Right? He's like, "Who?" And yeah. After he says
Lucretia.
"who," yeah, Vincent just has ... Lucretia. Like I just said it.
Yeah.
And then he says,
Lucretia is Lucretia.
"Yeah."
Lucretia.
I watched that clip.
It's so
too.
good.
The fucking- Who is that? That's who is the name?
Genuine.
Genuine. Yeah,
Genuine.
Genuine's Genuine.
But he says something really
Oh my
important.
gosh, this line right here. Lucretia, the woman who gave birth to Sephiroth.
Yeah, so she's not important at
What?
all to the story. So,
No,
don't
no.
even bother remembering that name.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
and-
see that being important at all.
But Cloud says gave birth. Wasn't
Yeah.
Genova Sephiroth's mother?
Right, which we've been
That's what
led
we-
to
yeah.
believe that Genova was Sephiroth's mother. And Vincent says, that isn't completely wrong, but just a theory.
Mm-hmm.
He was born from a beautiful lady. That lady was Lucretia. She was the assistant to Professor Gast of the Genova Project. Beautiful Lucretia,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we've heard Professor Gast. Last episode, we heard Professor Gast is the one who dug up
Who
Genova.
found Genova, yeah.
Right. And then realized that like he had
And
made
was
a
like,
terrible mistake.
Yeah. I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah, essentially. And Cloud's trying to clarify, and he says, "Oh, you mean a human experiment?" And Vincent goes on to say, "There was no way to cancel the experiment."
That's wrong. Everyone can get canceled, motherfucker.
Ah!
Genova, you're canceled.
I don't want to see you making an apology video online.
Genova just makes a video online and just calls all of us out, then we're canceled.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
If Genova cancels you, you're
Yeah.
canceled.
Who cancels the
But he
canceller?
says, "Yeah, who cancels the canceller?"
Supreme Chancellor.
God damn it! God damn it!
Yeah.
God damn it!
So to take that again because it's important, there was no way to cancel the experiment. I couldn't stop her. That was my sin. I let the one I loved, the one I respected most, face the worst.
And then what does Tifa say?
Tifa says, so the punishment was sleep? That's
Okay.
weird.
So Yuffie says, "Okay, boring story number one." What? What an asshole!
I don't know why I love her so much because she's such a dick.
I know.
She's so
like,
mean.
The most important, like revelatory things we've
Yeah.
heard in the game. She's just like, "I don't care."
Yep.
Like when we were in Cosmo Canyon, and she's just like, "This place sucks."
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to be here.
She's so fucking funny.
I know. God, that,
I think she's also younger than all the characters, so that might have something to do with
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
But like her personality is just hilarious.
I know. I love it. That's why, like I said, like I'm gonna try to bring
Yeah.
Vincent and Yuffie through the game because
Sweet.
I never do because they're the optional ones and they're so weird. that-
I feel like my main party the first time I played through it was Cloud, Tifa, and Vincent.
Yeah.
Because they're like three of my favorite characters in the game.
Right.
All the characters in this game are great except Kate Sith.
Yeah.
But like I fucking love Vincent. Like I was an emo kid, so I was very into Vincent Valentine.
So we're always talking about watching speed runs or whatever.
Yeah.
I was watching Mutsky speed run, and like the last section of all of his speed runs is named Ico Sucks, and I typed in and I was like, "But who's worse, Ico or Kate Sith?" And he looked at it and he goes, "Well, Kate Sith is probably the best character, so I'd have to say Ico." And I was like, "The fuck? The fuck? If this part gets left in, come on our podcast, defend
Defend
Kate
yourself.
Sith."
Leave
I'm
us a
wondering-
5-star review and a full 5 paragraph.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
why Kate Sith is the best
Within the
character.
allowed characters that you can have in there.
Right. How dare?
but-
How dare?
So Mutsky's a speed runner. Does he run the no slots?
He does both. He said it doesn't have to do with the slots.
Oh shit. Okay,
He
then
said-
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. Yeah, what?
Spoiler alert, my friend who I was talking about who said Kate Sith is good and the only non-anime trope one is actually Mutsuki.
Wait, it's not, is it?
No.
Okay, I was
don't-
going to
I
say,
don't
like,
think so.
holy shit, that would be fucking wild.
I don't think so. I've never watched Mutsuki, but I don't think that... I think I would know if my
Yeah,
if my
your friend was a fucking
world-class speedrunner.
Anyway,
I'm looking online and just search Kate Sith.
Don't stop looking
No,
at
I
Kate
know. I
Sith
said
stuff.
Kate Sith is the best, and then like all the titles like, what's Kate Sith good at? Is there any redeeming quality to Kate Sith? Why is Kate Sith a hated character? Does anyone use Kate Sith seriously? Unpopular. It's just really funny. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
why didn't Kate Sith? Just
Don't look at the
die?
reasons, though.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Kate Sith just die? So
I'm so scared of you reading these
I know.
titles
No,
right now.
It's just all just really polarizing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
That's amazing.
Vincent
But
says,
it's funny that we got off on this tangent, though, like right here, because literally there's one more line of dialogue and it's super short. So I probably could have just waited until Vincent says,
Yeah.
let me sleep.
Yep.
And then just puts the coffin lid back on. And that's it. That's all you get from him.
Yep. And then
You have to walk out.
yeah. So
Yeah. Well-
yeah, you walk out and you move on to the next.
So I went ahead to the next area.
So did I.
the study / laboratory.
Yeah.
where we the last place in the flashback that we saw Sephiroth before
Right.
he burned the fucking town to the ground.
Right, where he's reading all those books and everything, and there's that lab there.
Did any of you bump into? I almost felt like a mini boss because guy was really tough. It's Yin and Yang.
Yin and Yang?
Yin and Yang, yes.
Yeah, it's an enemy in the little corridor in the little hallway.
It looks like a penis. It looks like an uncircumcised penis. Cut this out if you must. But
Which one?
Hold on, I'm scrolling.
Both.
To him.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
it's model of both of them. The head has like it's real weird looking.
Hold on, here we go. Oh, okay, I can see what you're saying. I was like,
He's very
I haven't-
fleshy.
yeah, I was gonna say
He's-
I haven't seen one with a bunch of like arms and legs.
He's got like a flesh turtleneck.
Well, when I
I'll
first,
leave it at that. Maybe I'm wrong.
That
about
is
my
an incredible thing to say. Can we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we have the explicit marking on our podcast, it's
turtle's,
fine.
a turtle's neck is flesh.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's-
my first instinct, I was like, oh, it looks like a two-headed.
That ruined my whole life. Fleshy turtleneck. God, I hate you.
I mean, if it were
Curtis
a
is like, now the podcast is canceled.
if you wear a leather turtleneck, it's a flesh turtleneck.
God.
I'm done with it. I'm
Yeah.
done with it.
That's
This is the
what-
second
it's-
time
it's
that
a
we're
really
like, we're
it's a
done.
really difficult enemy.
That's what Vincent wears. is a
Yeah.
leather
I'm done with
turtleneck.
it. I'm done with it.
But well, I was saying my first impression, he looked like the creature from Shape
What?
of Water.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Just with
the
the-
Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
He's got
kinda look.
the nice, lots of necky folds, very
Yeah.
sexy folds.
He's
Yeah.
got two heads. That's the important part.
So yeah,
He could announce a pod race.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wait. Oh,
I was sitting
man.
there trying to remember what the name of the sport from Star Wars
Pod
Episode 1
racing.
and I was like, podcasting? That's
Now
not right.
Now this is pod racing.
It's Greg Proops.
So
yeah,
yeah.
I knew that. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So there's yin and yang.
Yeah.
When I first ran into it, I only was looking at like focusing on yang, and it just made me
Yeah.
think of like the presidential candidate.
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah.
Yang, the Yang Gang.
Yo, what's fucked up is like when you kill one, you kill both of them separately,
Yeah.
and then it's just part of the monster's dead,
Yeah. Also,
and then the
if you
rest
kill,
of it has to survive and keep fighting you, and that's gross.
if you kill one of them, I think if you kill Yang first, it will do like a suicide move on you and
Yeah.
deal like a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It'll like self-destruct.
Yep.
But I mean, again, just kind of another gimmick fight, the same way of the other ones that we were doing. You can kill one
It's
side.
real creepy too. It's moving very like
Yeah, it's very like
Yeah.
zombie-like, very
Yeah.
like Re-Dead from Zelda
Yeah.
kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
And just real creepy. One really funny thing with this fight though is there's a status that I don't know what it does,
oh.
but it's
Question.
no, but that's an enemy skill that you can learn from it, right?
Yes.
I did not learn that enemy skill.
I did.
But yes. No, it has a thing where it can just say Yang's happy.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I did see that. It was like Yang's, I think I saw Ying is excited.
And then
It's
it like yeah, so there's excited Yang, which is like mecha robot golf, playing golf exciting. And there's happy. I don't know what those do, but like it's a setting that it
I think this might
he's
going into the
accepted
lab.
his fate.
I think going into the lab might be a good halfway point for the podcast. So why don't we take a live stream and a swamp shoot, and we'll look those up while we're waiting.
yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. Let's do it. We're back.
So we left off fighting Ya and Yeet
Yawn yeet.
Actually, sorry, the antonym for yeet is yoink.
Yeah. So we're fighting yeet and yoink.
Oh man,
That's really good. But we did find out what Yang's happy. And,
yeah, it took
he's
a
excited.
whole lot of research. Like,
It really did.
so like I was on the Wikipedia page of just like the enemies, like the fandom page, and I clicked the link for it. Like it links to a thing that you would think would just be like, oh, the Yang's happy like thing, and it just takes you to the enemies skill list, which has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Yang happy.
Yeah.
But if you look at the AI script, it basically like when it's in the happy mode, it like increases its physical attack by 10 until it like hits 255.
Right.
I think it does the same with exciting with like magic attack.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's part of like a counter. Yeah.
another job well done by us.
Indeed.
Through the power of teamwork.
And I said I didn't know what the question mark skill did.
Not to be
And
confused with the question mark enemy skill, which is a different one, which I did not research.
I
However,
hope
take it
that's
away.
I hope that's a joke. Is that
It's
actually?
fucking not. No.
There's 2 enemy skills like that.
Yep.
With just
Fuck
question
off.
marks.
So I'm gonna try.
Okay.
and-
Well.
back to another break.
Okay. Well, the one we looked
No, so
up.
yeah,
that
you wanna
can-
explain that one more?
Yeah, the one you can actually get here. It does a very odd calculation and then deals damage out to an enemy that you choose. So what it does is it takes your maximum HP and then subtracts their current HP. And then the amount left over is the amount of damage that it does to the enemy. Really weird.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Super weird.
Which I think you can do more than that. Like, you can do quite a bit of HP now, right? Maybe not. I don't know.
I think it depends. Like if you're at
If you're a lower
Yeah.
level right now, maybe not so much, but
no, yeah, I guess it doesn't really work right now too well.
yeah, I would say not. But anyway,
I think I think in 7 there isn't another one, but in the series itself there is one that's
Oh,
like 3
okay.
question marks. So we'll
Okay.
that's the opposite of the exclamation
the exclamation mark. Yeah.
3 times in FF8.
There you go. All right, we did it.
Anyway,
So
this,
moving-
this nightmare surely is just beginning.
Yeah,
This whole
I know.
episode has been a nightmare.
so we get into the next area, right? Which is the lab.
The lab.
The lab.
The study. It's a
And
lot
I-
less green than it used to be.
Yeah, and I think this shifts the music to what we were hearing in the entire Shinra Mansion was just that like one Sephiroth song, but it's only the droning bells.
Right.
So here I think it switches to the full theme.
Yeah.
Which I think is a mark of a traitor, right?
Something like that.
Nope, sorry. I'll put the right one in.
Dine's there,
Okay.
we're like, oh hey, what's up, dude? You wanna join Avalanche yet?
So
It said mark of the traitor. I'm like, what the hell is this one? All right.
did you look around in this first room and like talk to all the objects and everything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You
So,
take that away, yeah.
in the bottom right. So this room now is very dark, right? When we first went here, like the lights were on. Like Cloud even says, like Sephiroth had the lights on the whole time he was reading, right?
Oh yeah, the lights never went off.
Yeah, he says that. And now it's dark, and so it's kind of hard to see everything. You know, there's no lights on. It's just kind of ambient light. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can barely make them out, but there's 2 like test tubes, and they're like human-sized test tubes.
Oh damn.
Right, like the thing that they like rehabilitate Luke in Star Wars, right?
It's the
It's like-
Saiyan pod on Namek.
Yeah, yeah,
After
it is.
Freezer
Yeah,
fucks
yeah.
up Vegeta.
and they're marked Specimen B and Specimen A, and one says Code C and one says Code Z. Right?
Whoa.
I know, right? And when you
Whoa.
talk to the one that's Specimen B, Code C, it says there's text that was written on it that was scratched into the glass by a fingernail on the inside of the beaker.
Jesus.
Yeah, so whatever was inside the beaker scratched out a message, and the message is, let's get out of here. And then the other...
It's that gargantuan thing.
yeah. And the other one, the one that's Code Z or Specimen A, says, a scratch left by a fingernail inside the beaker. Feeding time. That'll be our chance.
Fuck.
Yeah,
That's dark.
yeah. Right?
Holy shit.
There's 2 creatures, 2 things are trapped inside of these.
Wait, but when the person feeding them read the message on it,
I mean, we were dealing with
it was like, wait a second.
hey, you're not gonna get
I don't
me.
know. Because, like, if they're in there 24/7 looking at each other, and that's all the thing they
Yeah.
can do, like, you could probably have the time to read something like that. Whereas if you're just like, oh, feeding time, assholes, and you brought some food in, you may not be
Yeah.
thinking about it, maybe.
Okay.
That's kind of how I
Especially because
interpret
it's probably someone who's not paid very well, and they're just like, I gotta
Yeah,
feed
get
these
somebody,
tube
right.
monsters.
Well, see, I guess I could be wrong. I assumed that like Hojo did work down here. I could be wrong about that.
True, and he's very flighty,
That's it is
so
super-
that would actually kind of make sense.
I mean, I don't know that. I don't think
Yeah.
it's necessarily backed up by anything solid.
Yeah, again,
But
just
he just seems to have his fingers in like every fucking evil science pie.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
and this is some evil
And
science.
this is like this is yeah. So I completely missed that, but I walked through to where like the bookshelves are leading.
Well,
That Dutch
Or
angle.
did I miss
Before it-
another? Did I miss another thing?
bef-
Shit.
well, no. I was gonna say on your way to those bookshelves, we see a little somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it changes to that camera and
That fucking
all
crazy
the way down.
like Dutch angle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
We see Sephiroth just standing there.
Yep, and there he is. And Cloud just immediately is like Sephiroth, calls him out. And,
Why do you lock yourself in here?
Yeah.
And we got the appropriate track playing now.
Yeah.
Which means that Alex can't edit out his flub earlier because it was funny.
What flub?
Shit.
Sephiroth says, "Being here brings back memories. Are you going to participate in the reunion?" Ooh. And Cloud says, "I don't even know what a reunion is." And like
the
a
class
reunion,
reunion.
it's
This right now, this happening right now is a reunion.
it's a type of reunion. Yeah.
It's a class reunion where he's going to lie about inventing Post-its so that everyone thinks he's cooler than he is.
Yeah. Sephiroth says Genova will be at the reunion. Genova will join the reunion, becoming a calamity from the skies. And that's like another phrase that we'll hear a lot.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Bugenhagen was like spirit energy, remember that. And like it never comes up again. Calamity from the skies comes up several times.
Yep. And
So-
and Cloud says, Genova, a calamity from the skies? You mean she wasn't an ancient?
Yeah, and Sephiroth goes, I see. I don't think you have the right to participate.
Damn.
I will go north past Mount Nibel. If you wish to know, then follow.
Yeah.
And then Cloud muses to himself, reunion, calamity from the skies. And then Sephiroth pulls a real fucking like Major League Baseball move on us and just throws a fucking materia at us and hits us in the stomach, and Cloud like doubles over.
He just fucking hucks a materia at Cloud, like we said with the angle, like it's just down the hallway. So
Yeah.
you just see this tiny little materia just go. It's like the beer can being thrown at Flanders in the fucking Simpsons,
Yeah.
where Homer's heckling him. It's just like
Yeah, you see
Oh,
it from way far away, but
I
then
was-
it comes up on you real quick. It
I
just
was
hits him.
cracking up at this. Like, what a dick move! Like, fuck,
No,
dude.
just fucking whips it, and then as soon as like it hits us and like Cloud doubles over, he just goes full fucking Superman and just flies up in the air, and then zooms past us. And the thing is, unlike Superman, who has his arms outstretched while he's flying,
He's planked.
he's in a plank position. His arms are down at his side, and he's looking downward too as he flies over top our head. Like what? Like a fucking man rocket.
It's so fucking funny. Like it's insane. Like it's scary, I guess, but like just how comedic it is. Like I'm excited to see this if they do this in the remake, because like it's kind of hard to take it serious. Like the scary music's playing, you're in a scary place, all this fucked up shit's happening, everything's dangerous.
Yeah,
and then he
yeah.
just flies by like completely like
I don't think you have the right to participate. Think fast.
Yeah, I think that motherfucker, bam.
you're not
And,
allowed
like,
to come to my birthday party
fucking
anymore.
yeah. Cloud does like the fucking like Family Guy thing where he's like,
He's kind of in that pose. Yeah.
yeah. But
But it's also funny that it's the destruct materia.
I know. Which
That's not how you used materia, Sephiroth.
the destruct materia has the tightest name for the like.
Yeah, it's underwhelming.
It's underwhelming. I mean, it's not bad by any means. All materials are great. All materials have uses, right?
All materias are valid.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep,
Yeah. But this one just does de-barrier, de-protect, and eventually I think it does dispel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So it just removes barriers from
Yeah.
enemies, so you can do regular damage.
Which can be useful because
Right.
I mean, like we were saying with Big Guard, like that shit like is really hard to break through. So
Right.
if there's
So
an
you-
enemy
you
that has a
could-
barrier, it's that's very
You
helpful.
could dispel them with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you went into the next room, right?
I did, and I did poke around there.
Okay, so I got the reports 1 to 4. Is
So-
that
so
how you
did I,
have it?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Go ahead. You do the first one.
Yeah. So escape.
Or let's say that this is the library.
Yeah,
And
so-
like this is where Sephiroth was reading all those books at, and there's still a lot scattered across the floor.
Yeah, there's still all the bookshelves and all that.
And I think we have to assume that these books that we're reading are new.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I gathered from it.
Yeah, I don't think they could have happened during the flashback. So I think
Yeah.
that implies that people have been here
Yeah.
since it burned down, which I guess makes sense if the mansion didn't burn down. They were able to continue doing work here.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. So you're
Yeah,
probably right.
especially because this is like in a cave in the quote unquote basement. Like this would be pretty immune to fire, I would feel like.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. So
So yeah, there's these reports. Yeah,
we all
go
know
ahead.
that books are immune to fire.
Yeah.
Try this, kids at home. So just going up to the bookshelf and you interact with it, and it's escapee report number 1, X month, X day. 2 escapees were located near Midgar. Escapee report number 2. Description at the time of capture. A former member of Soldier, number, and then there's no number in the parentheses. And it says, no effect could be detected from either Mako radiation therapy or Genova on him. B, regular number, and then also no actual number. It's just parentheses again. And it says, reaction to Genova detected.
Yeah,
Do you want to take 3?
I will. Escapee report number 3, status. This is the status of the 2. A, shot for resisting. B, escaped during A's resistance. Escapee report number 4, and the title of this one is Other. B's whereabouts currently unknown, but pursuit is unnecessary due to his diminishing consciousness, awaiting further instruction. And so, I feel like we as players are like looking at, because like, so I think the only former member of Soldier is Cloud that
Yeah.
we've met, right?
Yeah.
And so it's easy to be like, okay, well, Cloud is maybe one of these, right?
Yeah.
A former member of Soldier. And then number 3 is the former member of Soldier was shot and killed.
Yep.
You know? So like, maybe not. Not so much then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I feel like that was...
I fucking love when games do this, where they just kind of like, again, like Justin was saying, everything is so optional in this game. Like, it has such an incredible story, and it's really incredible when games kind of have that confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely like a choice for them to do this instead of just being like, here's the entire story laid out of what's going on.
Right.
Like, it's intentionally confusing, and you need to piece things together, and it could take multiple playthroughs and stuff like that. And it's
Right.
just, like, completely missable stuff. And, like, I just love when games do that. Like,
Right.
that's why I love Dark Souls as much as I
Right.
do.
And, you know, I feel like the... Kind of going on with what I was, saying about, like... I feel like 1 and 2... are maybe meant to be like, yo, this is Cloud who we're talking about,
Yeah,
right? Because they're like, escapee located near Midgar, former member of Soldier, and also had Mako radiation therapy. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's who that is. And then the very next one, no, it's not that one. He's dead.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's dead. This is the other one that got
So,
away.
like, Shinra's just doing all kinds of fucked up shit. All
Yeah,
over the place,
all over the place. Yeah, what a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yeah.
So that's like really crazy that we're seeing this little story, right?
Yeah.
And it, like you said, it's optional.
Shinra's veteran program fucking sucks.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of the new Blade Runner when you're kind
Oh, I still haven't seen that yet.
Well, there's a moment where
I really like it.
the protagonist is kind of trying to. There's some ambiguous set of doubt that there's like a missing child, and the protagonist think that this might be me, and you look at the report, and there's like 2, and we're like, wait, is this one me? And this one like, or is it someone else? And it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
But
like,
if you're there,
Yeah,
but-
then who's
Yeah.
yeah?
but then the whole theme of the movie kind of places is this very similar tone of like you're kind of
Piecing together.
it's kind of it baits you to kind of make that leap like, oh, that's me,
Yeah.
that's talking to me, and then later in the movie like, oh, everyone thought it was them.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not just you,
fuck yeah,
which is really cool.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much done down here. So we start making
Yeah.
our way back to the mansion.
I love it because like when you walk by Vincent's room, he's still in his coffin.
Yeah,
is.
and he doesn't want to talk.
Right. So, but you walk by him and you're going to the screen to go back up the circular staircase back to the main mansion.
Yeah.
And you just get a text box of Vincent saying, wait. And he like flips into the screen, right? He like flips in, but it's like very like spooky and airy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he flips in and he just asks you, if I go with you, will I meet Hojo? Which again, Hojo
Yep.
tied into everything.
Yep.
What a motherfucker. I keep saying that word today. I'm sorry.
No, it's
but and Cloud just
good,
says, I
actually.
don't know, but we're after him and Sephiroth, so I guess sooner or later. And Vincent says, oh, Lucretia. Okay, I've decided I'll go with you. And here I have Yuffie still, and she just goes, oh, great, just what I needed. Like, so good. She hates him so much.
Yeah.
She's just like taking the shit
It's
out.
just my luck.
I know. Did you get any text there?
Yeah, Tifa says, "What? You're coming with us?" And that's pretty much it. Let me see if there might be some other interesting dialogue. Let's see.
Okay, well, go ahead and finish it out right here while we're looking for that.
Air says,
Okay.
sure is a quick exchange of heart, huh? And stuff like that. Words when needed.
Nanaki says, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm glad I decided to check into this.
Bear also says, what? With another W, which means it means double what. That's all on that.
Okay.
Oh, there is a good one, but it's not a character that we know yet, so I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that.
So Vincent says, being a former Turk, I may be of help. And Cloud's just like, all right then. And we let Vincent in on the team.
Hell yeah!
And so I switched over to Yuffie and Vincent,
Fuck yeah!
who I'll probably roll with, I think, for the game. Because like I've never really used those characters because I was like, well, they're optional. So their text, like their dialogue is probably, it might not be written as well. Which, if Yuffie's dialogue is any indication, it's written amazingly.
Yeah.
So I've never really used them in a playthrough before. So
I think Vincent does get some pretty good dialogue. I could be completely wrong about that.
Yeah.
Or I might have just been like, "Oh, this dude's cool," like when I played
Yeah.
it for the first time and
Yeah.
just inflated that or projected that onto
Yeah.
him. But I feel like he seems like an interesting character. He's got all these crazy ties, so I'm sure he has a lot to add to the story.
You know what I really like about Vincent, and we'll get into this more as we go through the game. But just to say, because like we just got him, so we can like give our like thoughts about Vincent, right?
Yeah.
But what I like about him as a character is that like he is like the spooky emo vampire, like
Yep.
he's like super dark and everything, and yet comes off very like personable for most
Yeah.
of the game. Like he's not like completely silent, and when he talks, he's like an all right guy.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that like, oh, he's a person. He's not just a stereotype of this like ancient evil mad like vampire dude or whatever. Like he's trying. He's doing
Yeah.
his best. Like
Or-
he also is spooky and a vampire man, but like he's all right.
Hell yeah.
He's good to have around.
He's not too emo.
He's not too
He's
emo.
not too emo.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is, I don't know, the 90s. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess My Bloody Valentine isn't really emo. They're more shoegaze.
Shoegaze,
They're more
yeah.
shoegaze. I was gonna say I feel like his last name is probably a reference to My Bloody Valentine.
Be my
Could be.
Valentine.
Bullet for my Valentine. So we
That's what I was thinking. Bullet for My
is that
Valentine.
okay? So we that's really all that there is to do in Nibelheim.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're off to Mount Nibel now, right?
Oh yeah.
And this time is cool because we actually like we see all the scenes from the flashback on the mountain, but we also get more. There's more areas to the
Yeah.
mountain. this
You mean
time.
like scenery?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same locations, unchanged.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's all the pathways are the same and everything. We just have access to more of it now.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and the new areas that we get access to are pretty neat. So
Yeah.
I think
I really like them.
This area is familiar, but it was a lot easier last time when we had Sephiroth on our team.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yep.
There's some good items here. You can
Yeah.
get like the rune blade.
Yeah, which is-
fucking rips.
Yeah, that's like Cloud's what's it called? So it's like a weapon for Cloud that
Yes.
has I think 2 joined materia slots, but also double.
I think it's double as well. Yeah.
Yeah, which kicks ass.
It's
I
a
love
good one.
I love double materia growth, especially when you can pair it with like an
Yeah.
all materia
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's really good.
It looks like a Lionel sword from Breath of the Wild.
It does. I
It's
didn't
got
even
the
think
cool,
of
like,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really like the sword.
Big
It's actually
brick.
one of the things I remember from the very first time I played the game was using the rune sword and being like, "Yo, this is dope."
Oh, it doesn't have the double joined thing. It's just a straight double weapon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's not banded together with the other materia.
There's also the plus beret. Is it beret? Beret.
I think it's
Plus
yeah.
Barrett.
Plus Barrett. I guess it's beret.
I would think beret because it
Beret.
has ETTE on the end.
Yeah, it's like a clip. It's
Yeah, it's
Red's
for
weapon.
it's for red.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I think that's probably also got double. I feel like
Um,
we've been getting a lot of double weapons here.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're
walk-
going. And it should be mentioned that like you can see the chests where these items are in,
Yes.
but no like clear path to get there.
You have to walk around the back of the mountain, and you don't see Cloud when he's walking around the back. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's kind of hard to get to it. I mean, it's really easy to get to it. But it's
You
like
just have
it's hard
to-
to see how to get to it.
Yeah.
Keep your cursor on so you can see where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And there's also a lot of really difficult encounters here. So like,
I didn't have too much trouble with them. What did you like? What did you think? What was tough?
let me see.
I'll tell you what. The only thing that I thought was tough was that we can encounter those giant dragons.
Yeah.
And Vincent's limit break. Let's talk about Vincent's limit break.
Yeah. That's
Um,
kind of the reason I'm not using him this playthrough because I don't really like his limit break.
It's not great, but it's
It's
kinda,
cool.
Having played the game so many times and not really like kept Vincent in the whole time, I feel like this this limit break changes how some of the game is kind of played for me in some ways. Like
Sure.
it brings an interesting sauce to it, right?
Yeah.
So Vincent has all 4 levels of limit breaks, but he only has 1 limit break per level. So you don't learn any of his limit breaks by use. You only use it through kill count,
Yeah.
right? Or that's the only way you learn them. And so what happens is when he limit breaks, you choose limit, and he just transforms into a monster. And what monster it is depends on the limit, like which level you're using. And he is uncontrollable for the rest of the fight. Like
he just goes like berserk mode.
yeah. If
and,
you
like,
if
random.
you kill him, then you can revive him and bring him back normal.
Yeah.
But other than that, he is in beast mode the whole rest of the fight. And I'm deciding if I want to laugh at beast mode or not. But I'll do a little like beast mode.
Well, yeah. What's his first form look like?
What?
What's that meme about modes? There was a song.
Sicko mode?
Sicko.
He goes
full sicko mode.
mode.
Shit. Now I want to use him.
Yeah.
What's his first form look like? I'm trying to pull it
It
up.
looks like a tiny behemoth.
Oh, that's cute.
Like the behemoth
Yeah.
enemy from Final Fantasy games, like a kind of like a God. What would you even say behemoth looks like? A big
sort of dragon.
rhinoceros dragon hippo,
Yeah.
with 2 horns and a big like red mane on it.
Yeah.
It is hard to describe what
On 2 feet.
on 2 feet. Yeah, and he's purple. But anyway,
Hell
so
yeah.
he does a move where he like hits the enemy a whole bunch of times and does a good bit of damage, and then he also has like a flare attack, which is fire based. And so the dragon that you fight
Does it absorb it?
absorbs fire.
Oh shit.
So if Vincent limit breaks and you send him into limit break, you have to hope he does his little combo move
Yeah.
instead of the flare because he'll just heal the dragon back
Damn,
up.
that
So I
sucks.
was like, Vince, god damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
I like
so-
how you're beyond first name basis with him now. You're in a
It's just
nickname
Vince.
term. Damn it, Vince. Vinny, what are you doing,
yeah,
Vinny?
I know. Yeah, I know that is. Yeah.
But it would be cool if you could get like super deep into the mechanics of it and like use Vincent, use his limit break and then use manipulate on him so you could use.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
I don't think you
I don't.
can.
I
but
don't think you can, but that would
Yeah.
be fucking awesome.
That would be, yeah.
Because then I would probably be more inclined to use it. Because I like loved having Vincent in my party, but the unpredictable nature of it and just the lack of control over it, I was like, well,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really want to use.
Like I said, I've gotten to the point where, like, you know, we've played the game enough, and I feel like the bosses are easy enough that I'm kind of like, okay, that puts a little bit of a flair,
True.
like a little fun to each fight. So
It's a good. It's a good
I
point.
kind of like it for that reason.
So, as we're making our way back up, we get to a familiar bridge that we took before.
Yeah, yeah.
And the entire time I was like,
Is it gonna
does
snap?
Does
Yeah.
this break again? Because it's a long bridge and it goes really high. It's very steep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they could really benefit from like a cable car or aerial lift instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, that wouldn't have been as cool to fall.
Exactly.
I also think it's kind of weird that they built the Mako reactor so fucking far out from the town.
Yeah. I mean,
Is
I guess
that
it's
weird?
just-
Consider it.
maybe.
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 Could be, I guess.
We know that everyone at Shinra is very considerate.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just where it was, the good Mako. I mean,
Yeah, I mean-
there's a Mako fountain right there.
That's actually
That's
a good
true.
point. That's a very good point. There's that Mako fountain there, so
Yeah.
that's
Still.
probably why. And
which is still in this area. And if we go to it, I have it
There's-
here.
There's the elemental material.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Elemental materia. Correct.
yeah, so this is actually a pretty short set of screens. There's a lot of items on here, but
Right.
I like the double dare ass fucking like.
So there's a new screen that we can get to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the top of the bridge, we can now go to this entrance. Which,
yeah,
which,
because
which
we
is,
fell off the bridge last
Yeah.
time, so we never got
which
to it.
is funny because that implies that you and all your whole crew was supposed to be going through this whole area together.
So
originally.
Sephiroth was going to go
everyone
down the slide
gets to
and be
go
like,
down
"Whee!"
the fun slides. Yeah.
So there's like 5. So basically, once you go into this little cave on top of the mountain after crossing the bridge, there's kind of like a cliff inside of this cave, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a very, very tall room, and you're up at the top level of it. And there's like double dare slides.
yeah,
There's like
Chuck E.
5
Cheese
slides.
ass, like outside of McDonald's, like the fun house, like kind of slides.
Yeah, like these big tubes, and like they're literally numbered 1 to 5. It like shows it on there, and you just pick one and you slide down it, and you get whatever is at the end. Right?
Yeah.
It's a series of tubes.
Which one did you guys take first?
I think this time because I was doing the podcast, I just did them in order.
Oh, okay. So, fun thing. There's also ladders that lead down.
Yeah.
and like a staircase.
And you can kick the ladders down.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Dark Souls shortcut where you have to like kick down a ladder
Yeah.
to be able to go back up
Yep.
it. And I didn't do that at first, and I went down. And it had been a while since I had saved, so I like was ready to like reset and be like, shit, did I just like lock myself out? Because you go down the first slide, and it just takes you all the way to the bottom where there's like a save point and a big fucking scorpion thing, like, blocking
Yeah.
the way to a certain like to the next screen.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit. But like it like the camera pans down as you're doing that, and you see like a chest and like an item.
Oh yeah, a
bag.
bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do that, and there's like another like doorway out there and stuff. So I was like, shit, I didn't explore all this cave, and I went down the first thing, and it just took me directly to the
Yeah, and I hate that when it happens and things. Yeah.
Yeah, and you go back up and you try to climb the ladder, but it needs to be kicked down. But
Yeah.
luckily, if you just take the next path that you can go, you get to go through like more of the cave and double your way back.
Right, and actually, I think is that how you get to the Mako reactor?
Yes.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
takes you by the Mako reactor where all the shit went down, where Genova was stored at.
Yep.
Yep. Which now you can't do anything there. There's nothing.
Yeah,
of interest there.
you go there. It's the same exact like way that it was. It's still the weird like how does anyone get to work here? Like,
Yeah.
by taking the main entrance and having
Yep.
to walk on pipes and stuff. And then you get to the like you were saying the Genova portion of it, and it has all that music and stuff, but nothing really to do there.
Yeah.
But you can go behind it, and there's a door that leads to right where the ladder is that you need to kick down.
Correct.
This is also how you get to like the materia pool and all of that. So there's a couple
Yeah.
items that you can get there. There's a chest that has elixir, and it's the same sort of thing where like you're walking through like caves and don't really see the path to get to the chests.
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to walk around and guess. But you also get a Sniper CR.
It's Sniper CR.
Sniper CR.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
A
what did I say,
weapon for
Sniple?
Vincent. Yeah.
Snipple.
This MF said Sniple.
This Mount Snipple.
Yeah. So that's a Vincent weapon.
A fucking gun.
It's a fucking gun.
Did you say the Power Soul?
Oh yeah, there's the Power Soul is here, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And I want to talk about the Power Soul.
Let's talk about the Power Soul.
That thing fucking rules. That's it's a Tifa weapon that I think it also has double materia growth.
Okay.
But the important thing about it is it has a status effect where
Ooh, I didn't know that.
oh yeah. So when
Oh, yeah.
when Tifa is in quote unquote near death status, she's able to deal out twice the amount of damage.
Holy shit.
So if you
Real FF8 vibes.
yeah, like seriously, like this is the first time I've really used this strategy.
Yeah.
And I think this is one that they use a lot in the
Speed
speed
runs.
run. But you basically tether this with Death Blow,
Yeah.
so you're dealing out like a crit every time it hits and double damage. But even better than that, if Tifa is in death sentence mode, it does quadruple the damage.
Holy crap.
So you just fucking do insane amounts of damage.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, so like I'll talk about that a little more when we get to the boss fight.
Okay, cool. Which actually we can probably go ahead and talk about, huh?
Oh yeah. So wait, what's in the chest? Because
There's an all materia.
that's right. So the chest has the all materia, and just to go back a little bit, this is when we get back to the tubes area, and when you go down,
yes.
I think the second tube leads to the Power Soul, and the fourth tube leads
Yeah.
to the chest, and then 5 and 3 just lead to like the same landing that's right before, like right after
Yeah.
where the ladder you have to kick down is.
Yeah.
So now we're coming up to a boss fight.
Hell yeah, we are the materia keeper.
Oh shit!
Which, like, I feel like that was a very good description you gave earlier, which is like a big ass scorpion thing.
Yep.
Because, like, dude, it's mean looking, dude. It's
It's got like 2 tails that are like that have like spikes coming out of them.
yeah. Every like one of its appendages have these giant like spikes that look like they're like blood stained on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's mean looking.
Yeah, and I think this is usually a pretty tough fight for people, right?
It can be. I mean, so this is the other one that I poisoned because I have Yuffie with poison added effect.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just taking a crap ton of poison damage every turn. So
yeah.
I kind of got it down pretty quickly.
Cool. Yeah, I just was like testing out the death blow thing with
Yeah.
I used like my strategy was just I had Cloud use haste, and everyone was going faster. Tifa was already in critical damage, so she was getting the double, and then I had Aerith use enemy skill death sentence on her.
Yeah.
So I think I was doing like with each hit with death blow that would land, I was doing 4,048 damage.
God.
And like I think Tifa was like level like 33 or 34, so not like super over leveled. or
That's
anything.
wild. That is wild.
Yeah, just like fucking like.
That's awesome though. I had no idea.
It's so
That's
good,
cool.
and I think there's another weapon that she gets later that has the same effect,
Really.
but probably like better materia slots and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like this is like an insane. Again, just trivializing a lot of battles. Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
you do sacrifice like accuracy because it's a 1 in 3 chance with
Right,
death blow,
yeah.
but it's like it's
Well,
so.
I imagine you could also not death blow and at least have consistency and pretty good damage.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. The one thing to note with this is that it does not affect limit breaks at all. Because like the
Okay.
first thing I did was like use Tifa's limit break, and I was like, oh, that's not as satisfying. As
Oh,
I thought it would
okay,
be.
okay.
And then I used death blow. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, got you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So you brought up poison though, so I want to talk about another really weird, not like well described status thing that happens in this
Sure.
game, which I think you brought up before in the past.
Let's do it.
Lucky sevens. What you know about lucky
Yes.
sevens?
So if one of your party members has a current HP of 7777, they'll go into like all Lucky Sevens Berserk mode.
Yep.
Where they're uncontrollable and then they attack like 36 times
It
in
might
a
be
row.
64.
I think it might be right. Yeah, 30. Yeah, 60,
The Nintendo number.
yeah. It's like 64 times in a row, dealing like all nines like every single time. It basically just ends a battle.
Yeah.
It just, and they do it in a row. I mean, it's just like boom, 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 boom until it's done.
Yeah.
Right.
And does it just does it 64 times in succession, or is it like it has to the ATB has to
Oh, I thought it was in succession.
it probably is.
Yeah.
But the reason I want to talk about it is another really weird strategy
Yes.
that speedrunners use. I don't think it's on this fight.
Oh,
It-
okay.
It might be on this fight.
Never
That might
mind.
be-
I
no,
thought it was this one, but maybe it's not.
I think it is on this fight. So the Materia Keeper, the way that Lucky Sevens work is if you are in Lucky Sevens mode and you're poisoned, it will take the poison attack, like that ticks down. It'll
Yeah.
take that as a Lucky 7 hit, and you'll just get hit with 7777, and just like
Every single
crit.
time.
Yeah, just like crit yourself. So I think in the speed run for this boss, what they do is they intentionally get it to 7777
Yeah.
and poison it, so that way they like cast mini on themselves so that they can get it to that exact
Yeah.
number, and they have it all planned out and stuff. So then when it gets poisoned, it just does 777 to itself
Yeah.
and kills itself.
Yeah.
But another reason why I wanted to bring this up is there's an amazing video that everyone should watch on YouTube of the speedrunner Dave Stereo,
Okay.
who is 4 hours into a Final Fantasy VII run. So if you, it's for a boss that's later. So if you haven't gotten like super far in the game and you don't want like a boss spoiled, maybe don't watch it. But he's like super close into the run. He's doing really well and doing the strategies as he needs to, and somehow manages to get this boss that has 10,000 HP to 7777, which puts that in the state, and then it uses a move where it charges at you and hits your entire
Oh
party.
no.
So he's just going through and he's like, oh wow, I'm like getting kind of lucky in this fight. Like I was able to do more attacks than I usually am able to. And then it just hit him, which should only do like 100 damage, and just fucking destroys his entire party. And he just screams, he goes, what? And he like falls to the floor and he's just like, what the fuck just happened? Like it's so insanely
God.
like lucky like that it happened. Like it's
Yeah.
like the odds are so fucking low that it could happen, and it's just
Right.
amazing.
That's so crazy.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, that's so wild.
Yeah, I'll send you that video later. 'cause
Okay,
it's
okay.
Hilarious.
So when you beat Materia Keeper, you get the counter materia, which I mean, when I say you get, I mean you can pick it up off the ground
Yeah,
afterwards.
it falls.
All I had written down for this boss is take a closer look at that snout, because he's got a big schnoz,
I don't
Like a-
have a.
like those shrews.
We'll tweet out a picture of a shrew.
Oh, he does kind of have a little shrew mouth snout.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
He's
yeah,
got a long
like a needle nose mouth.
He's got a big
mouse,
old
right?
schnoz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Take a closer look at that snout.
yeah,
That's all. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually for beating him, you get the gem ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, what does that do?
I think it prevents like paralyze,
Okay.
petrify, that sort of thing.
Oh,
I forget the
I did
specific.
want to actually say something about the Materia Keeper as well. So there's not. I feel like FF7 is pretty gentle about missable items. There are some that you
Yeah.
can miss forever. Like the first time I played and I missed Ramu. Oh my gosh.
Or like the umbrella.
Or the umbrella. But there's an enemy skill that only 2 or 3 enemies can ever use the whole game,
Yeah.
and once you kill them, they're done. You can never go back and get it.
Oh yeah.
Materia Keeper uses Trine.
Yep.
And so this will be the first time you can get it, and there's only 3 times you can get it through the course of the game.
Yeah. Did you get it?
I did.
I did not.
And actually, 2 episodes from now will be the next time we can get it. So
Hell yeah.
we're really close to the next one.
I'm wondering if I should just try and get it next time around, or if I should just like load my save before the Materia Keeper. Fight.
Literally 2 episodes from now, like
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, you'll get it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I think with this fight, is that you can use it. It can just open up with Trine, which does a shit ton of.
Oh,
damage.
it's really. I think it's the lightning because
The lightning version of
there's
Beta.
beta and Aqualung,
Yeah.
and then I think Trine is the lightning one.
Or
Yeah.
is it lightning or is it non-elemental?
Oh, I thought it was like
Because it might be
maybe
like
not.
Trine because it's 3 elements.
Well, here comes
Here
a
comes
little
the
pause.
Google.
Yeah. Have fun editing this together.
Yeah, sorry, Alex.
I will. And he did.
Trine.
Can't laugh at that. That was
Oh.
edited later.
In the fandom page, Trine, also known as Train. Shoutouts to Corey.
Shout out to Soul Sister.
I don't get it.
No, you're right. We can cut all of this because it is lightning.
I still like the part where Alex says, "And he did."
We can keep it all.
All right, so
If you're still listening, bless you. Thank you.
yeah. So you can go get also, so throughout the caves, there's a couple more items you can get an elixir. Like we were saying, the elemental materia is here. There's also an enemy called the Zoo. Did you fight it?
I don't think so.
ZUU, the giant bird.
No.
Oh yeah, the big fucking bird.
Yeah, so Zoo, I think, can be a tough enemy because when you get it in between 75 and 50% down as far as HP goes, it goes into Fury mode and will do more damage.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. I kind of just ran right through it. Wasn't too big.
Yeah.
But that's really it that I have for the Nibel
Yeah,
Mines.
I mean, I think the only other thing I kind of wanted to talk about that we just sort of breezed through was just the dragons that we mentioned earlier. Where, it's still pretty like it's kind of a punch to the gut coming here. After seeing Sephiroth just body these things, no problem.
5 years ago, we saw Sephiroth completely annihilate these things, one hit, no problem. And we've grown a lot since then. We're now in our like 30s of level. We're like ready to take them on. But they're still total assholes. They're like really tough for us to beat. So we're still a ways behind where his power was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, you got to remember they were 5 years younger. Those are baby dragons.
Yeah, I guess.
All of the dragons were born at the same time.
Always the optimist.
Yeah, that Sephiroth kills baby dragons.
Yeah. What a monster.
It's all right. Sometimes we take was it 5 phoenix downs out of baby bird nests?
Yeah,
And then-
if you did that, stop listening to our podcast because you're a monster. Wait, I can't remember. Did you do that?
Not this time. I have in the past.
I
before.
definitely have in the past.
You've got to think about where those phoenix down come from on these horrible phoenix
Yeah.
farms.
We learned where Mako comes from and
Yeah,
and Materia.
right.
Now we're learning the horrible truths about Phoenix Downs.
Yeah, what animal do you think phoenix downs come from?
I
if you
don't
said the
know.
cockatrice, you're right.
Well,
yeah.
I think that about does it, right?
Yeah, so we're out of the mountains and we're kind of like left on some plains, right?
Yeah.
I got
And
lost. I ended up like figuring out like where am I supposed to go? How do I get out? Like get to the other side of the mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there's a little roundabout, and you just end up on the other side.
Yeah.
We have
it's
to end
behind
this.
them
We have to end this episode at the roundabout now.
to be continued.
It works better in a visual form than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can see out in the distance a town, and that's going to be the next episode.
Yeah.
Which is going to be Rocket Town.
Rocket Town.
Rocket Town. Rocket Town, baby.
Next episode is going to be our Rocket Power episode.
Well, welcome back to Rocket Town.
Oh no, I'm the squid. Woogity, 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 woogity.
If only we had more.
Hopefully, we won't beef it this time.
Beefed.
Oh, hey. Is this after the next episode? We might have a full party.
I believe so.
Oh, full party.
Oh yeah.
A full hearty party.
That's what they.
I'm gonna try and make a note to bring up what the next character we have says to Vincent if you come back with.
Okay, all right, yeah. Write it down on a note or
yeah.
something.
Let's just take a roll call. We have a lot of friends now.
We got a lot of
Yes.
friends.
We've got
Ziggy, Dilbert,
Roy,
Pikachu,
Marmaduke,
Odie,
Did you guys see it? I retweeted
Monster Mash, Zumacroom.
I retweeted a really good picture earlier of somebody drawing like ultra realistic versions of the Pokemon if they were very strong, muscular men.
Oh my god,
and it's
that's awesome.
really good.
Is that the same artist who did the Diglett or the Doug
I don't-
Trio underneath?
I don't
just
think-
a bunch
I-
of big beefy
I
dudes.
don't
hugging?
think so because this is like almost like anatomical drawings. Like
Oh,
they're
wow.
really detailed. And I was like, oh my god, they're
Very good.
fantastic.
Ooh, I
It's
gotta
really
check
good.
that out.
But yeah, we've been a lot of party members.
We got a very awkward crew.
We do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have like
So
what-
Cloud, of course,
Cloud, Barrett the soldier, Tifa the bartender, Eris the flower girl,
Red,
a dog.
Red the good boy.
Yeah. Yuffie, the
Yuffie.
thief who's always trying to steal from us and being a total asshole. And now, like, a creepy vampire man.
Yeah.
Who isn't-
also werewolf kind of because his limit break turns him into.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let's
kind
not
of a werewolf.
forget. And then Big the cat, which is
Oh, yeah.
Big the cat.
I
yeah.
wanted to forget Kate
How,
Sith,
how
but you
dare
didn't.
you sully the good name of Big the cat?
Yeah, we do have Kate Sith, which is either one or two characters, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
A cat riding a obese Moogle.
Yeah, it's not like a yin yang thing where you can kill one of them and
No,
the other
no,
one's still
no.
fighting and has
Yeah.
higher
family
defense
can
or
be
whatever.
many things.
Exactly. There actually is one thing that I completely forgot about that we didn't talk about, but you might have brought it up on a previous episode. But did you find Tifa's secret savings?
No.
No.
So.
Oh, wait. I know how. Yes, but I didn't do it now.
Yeah. So I've never done this before, and I was like, whoa. I was like trying to play the Final Fantasy VIII song, and I was like, there's no way that they were like that on top of it.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
an additional thing. But if you play I think it's just a random drop, but if you play the piano enough, it'll just say
Oh, I thought it was if you did the world map music.
it might
Maybe
be,
not, I
It
could be
might
wrong.
be that, but it all.
No, wait. No. I am thinking of something different.
Yeah,
if you play
yeah.
the world map music, Cloud says, that seems familiar.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
He's like, I know this tune, and it's if you play the world map music on Tifa's piano.
Yeah. But yeah, you get Tifa's secret savings, and it just says one gill came out of the keyboard.
Yep, that can happen.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
think you can do that multiple times. Like, there's
Oh,
no good way to grind it, but like I did it twice, like
Okay.
on this playthrough, so it's just kind of a funny like.
Trying to get that eyes on me recorded.
yeah, it took a while.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
No, I think that's it. You created a Twitch channel for us. If you want to,
I
that a
created a
little
Twitch channel for us, so we now have twitch.tv/everyfnff, which we played some FF8 on, and I feel like we're going to be using a little more consistently in the future.
Yeah.
We don't have any schedule yet.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you're listening to this podcast in the future where we have other episodes up, we may have a schedule.
Yeah, if we have a schedule,
we'll
we'll have it on the
Yeah.
the
One of these
bio
days.
there.
yeah. But so that'll be a good fun addition
Yeah,
to
just
the podcast.
come
Well-
hang out. I'll probably be in chat talking if Curtis is playing, and
Yeah.
vice versa.
Leave us a 5-star review on
Yeah.
iTunes, and you know what? Even if you don't use iTunes, leave us a good review anyway. Because
Yeah, that actually, like, we joke about that a lot, but it actually really helps us climb in the rankings.
As of this
iTunes.
town,
I was gonna say.
we actually made a nice little jump recently because of Carl's tweet.
Aw,
Yeah.
shucks, guys.
well,
We are now number 69.
69 on the U.S. Video Games Podcast,
That's
which
pretty
will
good.
last all of like I don't know how long.
Yeah,
a
like
couple hours. I'm sure that those charts are
It's-
like incredibly. They fluctuate incredibly.
Yeah.
But the hilarious thing is that before we sat down to record this podcast, I looked at our chartable, and we are number 69 on the United States Video Games.
We couldn't get the elite gamer number, but we got 69.
That's right.
And
We
no one
couldn't-
can
so
take that
we
away
couldn't
from
have done
us.
it without y'all. So
Yeah,
really
seriously.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
And those, yeah, like you were saying, that those reviews really do help a lot.
Yeah, so like if you wanted to like help support the show at all, like that's actually like listening is more than we
That's
could
the
even
best
ask
way.
for. Like
The
that's
best way is to
absolutely
listen.
the best way, and thank you so much if you
Right.
have been. But also if you wanted to do a little extra that only takes a couple seconds, like it really does make a difference and it really does help. So
Absolutely.
if you want to leave us a 5-star review, you can tell us
be
all the
nice.
things that we joke about, like Sephiroth, what he smells like, and
Eris,
All that
Eris,
good
other
stuff.
things.
Right
and-
arm.
or you can just leave an honest one.
Defend Kate Sith.
Yeah,
Defend Kate Sith. Hashtag defend
Yeah.
Kate Sith.
We will ridicule
We
you.
also have Twitter and Instagram. Also, every FNFF. Is that?
Our theme music this week is remixed by DJ Cutman. Featured music by Nubo Uematsu. Check the show notes for a link to that. Every FNFF on all the things like Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail. And catch us next week. Same F time, same F channel.
This has been every FNFF. I'm Roman Mars.
Will Goku go Super Saiyan in time to save the planet Namek? Find out next time on Every Effin' FN. Fellas, don't you hate it when you boot up the FF8 remaster and you get a boner? Damn it. I hate that that's infested my brain and now it's rubbing off on you guys.
God.
Whoa, rubbing off.